All right. All right. Here we are. Danny, welcome. Missed you this morning, Danny. Missed you this morning. Doing this one more time. Doing this one more time. I went on a live with Ruski to talk about the Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. memory and his suspected killer, Mr. Michael Kaiser. And I went on somebody else's live. Well, excuse me, not a live. I went on a Discord live chat with my friend Cindy. She don't know if she wants me to promote her Discord or not, but I did talk to at least about 30 people in that Discord and more people to get attention out. Just finished talking to her, and she told me that it was a little too early for her to see the first live, and I thought, that might be right. That might be right. As long as there's nobody else going live, I might as well go live and talk about it. So I decided to do another one, and here we are again. Uh, and this time around, if it's very possible, if I can get people who have talked about the Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. murder case, or if you guys want to talk about Michael Kaiser, his only suspected killer in the case, I'd be glad to entertain that. Also, I'd like to talk to anybody who has fresh eyes on this and has time to decipher or even look at some of the information that I have put out now. My last video, I start off not making this about Donald Cameron, Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. It started off as kind of like one of my regular lives or whatever. Then the chat had told me that today was the anniversary of his slaying, and I said, you know what? What better time than to not only talk about it, but also bring up the one person suspected of killing him. And so this is me just trying to help out the information. Of course, I put the links for Shiz's video soon. Shiz will have a video for the case, and I hope that she puts it out soon. I'm not trying to piggyback off of it or anything. I just hope that this helps inform people to go see her channel and gets people watching. Um, Again, I'm here to talk about the case or Michael Kaiser, whichever one. This is what this is about. So if anybody got anything that they want to share or discuss about it, it's fine with me. Um, yeah, I'm absolutely at a place where like I would love to talk to people who have fresh eyes on the case, who are watching Michael Kaiser and his crapulence, and hopefully will help me call him out. Again, I'm talking to a bigger channel about it, and I'm really hoping that good afternoon, Ruski, and I'm looking forward to this person actually going after him. But again, I don't. I don't wish to say anything until that person tells me that they're absolutely sure that they want to do it. Until then, I'll stay quiet about them. But I am getting closer. That's why I'm mentioning it. I am getting closer. I'm edging them. I'm edging them. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Because if you know one thing about me, it's persistence. Persistence is the key. I persist, especially when I find an opening. I persist. I will persist because to me it's important. Some information is important for me to get out. So hopefully this person helps me. If they don't, no biggie. We got enough people going after them, and we'll continue to go after them if it's possible. Um, Welcome, Danny. Once again, missed you in the morning. I really did. I really needed your. I really needed your mod skillings. Of course, I had Guadalupe Guacamole backing you up. She dropped a lot of, a lot of links in the chat. But missed a lot of your, your fact finding action that you do. You do a great job of it, and absolutely missed it this morning. So I'm glad you're here. Yeah. So again, I'm doing this again. I want to rehash some of this stuff. I don't know when Shiz is going to drop her video. I know she's very busy working on it. I let her know that I spoke about it earlier this morning. I had to edit that video a little bit, the live, because it started off with things that weren't pertinent to this. But then again, I didn't know that this was the actual anniversary of Daniel Atwater Cameron Jr.'s death, or when I don't know if when he was found, or when he was dead, when he died. But yeah, this is the anniversary of when that event happened. So I'm so looking forward to talking to anybody who wants to talk about it, anybody who has any questions. I'm not here to play back videos. Again, I played back, I think, a very informative video on my last live. And if you guys want to look for those videos on the case of that Donald Atwater Jr., the first link is Shiz Happens. Her channel has got most of the information on that. So I would go to her channel first if you want information on Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. And if you want more information on Michael Kiser and the investigations against him, that would be every other channel after that. That includes his stolen valor, and it includes all the lies and the things that he did. Right, Danny. Right. Many people don't know about his criminal past. That's right. I mean, they today I was, and I also earlier I got to see a little bit of Tats live. I didn't get to see it all because I wanted to go on Tats live, but Ruski did a good thing by talking about Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. on his live. So I went on his live to speak about it, and I didn't get to go to Tats. So I skipped Tats, but Tats is always on top of it. That's why it wasn't a big deal for me to skip his. But I saw a little bit of his live afterwards while I was waiting for Cindy to get her people together. And when I saw it, when I was seeing it, I saw that guy JJ send and I look. From what I gathered, Tats had sent an email out and he CC'd it to a bunch of people concerning the Michael Kiser stuff. And he CC'd JJ on there. Then JJ replied to Tats in a way that I would consider it being Wrangler Kool-Aid, because he talked about how Tats was jealous somehow of Wrangler. Again, I always find it funny whenever people come to his defense and say something like, we're jealous of him. I promise you, even with my little bitty channel that I got, I am not jealous of Michael Kiser. I promise you that I'm not jealous of Michael Kiser. I've been homeless. I've lived out in the streets. I've been shot at. I've been put in dangerous situations. I promise you that I would never trade my life over frauded Wranglers. 100% never trade my life over frauded Wranglers. You couldn't. There is no scenario in the world where I would trade lives with frauded Wrangler. For two reasons. Number one, of course, he is a suspect and the only suspect in the murder of Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. The only suspect who murdered a Marine, a disabled Marine, a disabled combat veteran Marine in his home on Christmas for a PS3 and some guns. I promise you that I'm not jealous of that. Second reason why I'm not jealous of him, you give me the opportunity to join the military, or if I put myself in there, I promise you I'm not going to quit. I promise you that I would never quit. If I started that, I would not quit. Even if I didn't like it. You know, that's the thing. That's what makes that so egregious, is that it's like, even if I decided somewhere along the way that I didn't want to do it, I wouldn't just quit. I would see it all the way through. Then, I would probably regret it later, but I would see it all the way through. I wouldn't just quit. He quit twice. He couldn't cut the mustard twice. Yeah. No, I'm not jealous of Michael Kiser. I don't care how many people follow him now. I don't care how much money he thinks he's making. There's nothing to be jealous there. Nothing at all. Someone like Tats, 100% will not be jealous of him. And if JJ, you knew his story, if you knew Tats' story, you would eat those words. You would eat those words so fast. Tats has nothing to be jealous of. Nothing. Even if he has no money, zero money, Tats has nothing to be jealous of. Nothing. He's a combat vet who was a medic. One of the most respected positions in the military, from what I've seen. I've only heard people talk highly about medics. And he chose to be that. Tats chose to be that. Tats went in there choosing to be a medic. It goes to show the selflessness of this man. And you are trying to denigrate him by saying that he's jealous of a man like Kiser is not a man. Kiser is not a man. Kiser is an animal. Even calling him an animal is even wrong. Because my dog has more sentiment than Kiser does. It's disgusting. It's disgusting that you would say something like that. That you would say Tats is jealous of him? Of what? His false teeth? His grandma's garage? Or his mom's garage? Well, what is he? What is there to be jealous of, sir? Do you think that because there are 5,000 people who are following, which we don't know if that's accurate, do you think that that would garner any kind of jealousy from somebody like Tats? Tats doesn't care. Oh, I'm sorry if you're coming in late. Hang on. I'm sorry. I got to cut a little bit into my rant, so I wasn't looking at the chat. A few not so good people who follow me. I don't know why I have 0 videos posted. My channel is not a channel. I'm not jealous. Danny, I follow you because I love you, gosh darn it, and I will follow you to the end of the earth. GMK JJ, that official, that idiot, I don't know what he is, corrections, warden, I don't know what he is. That dude, he emailed that back to Tats. He emailed that back to Tats because Tats CC'd him on a reminder of the Kiser drama or whatever. And when he, I mean, I want Tats. I wish Tats was here because Tats could tell you what he said. It's in his live now. I'm not in the mood to go back and forth because I've been doing this all day. I started off with my live earlier this morning, and yeah, exactly, yeah, that guy, yeah. What do you got here, Denny? Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. And he didn't do none of that. He didn't do none of that. How are we jealous of somebody who lies about shit like this? Like how are we jealous? JJ, you need to take a good strong look at you. You know what? No. You know what? You need to stay with Kiser. Do us a favor, stay with Kiser. Sync with him, please. Please. You're ridiculous. You are ridiculous. What? Tats is jealous of Kiser? I think not, buddy. I think not. I think you really need to evaluate the things that you're talking about here. Tats is an actual combat vet, a medic, someone who couldn't even carry a rifle. He had to carry a 9mm for protection. In what world does a murder burglar sound like a better life than what Tats made? Really, I don't get it. That I don't get that part. I really don't. Yeah, I believe so. I believe so, Danny. I believe so. He is really showing his colors when he sends Tats an email like that. I wish Tats was here. Tats, I'm invoking you, man. Get your butt over here. Because I need you to share that email again. Because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And this is the stuff that I'm talking about. This is why I think it's important. It's important that you put the information out. It's important that people get the information out of the case of Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. It's important because we need for people to ask questions. We needed to ask, what's this about? What's this case about? What are you talking about? Who is this Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. that you keep talking about? Who is this? Well, Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. was a former Marine combat veteran who got shot in the head. Then, when the initial shock wears off, you tell them he was shot in the head by a stolen valor murder burglar who is on YouTube right now taking money for the VA and still claiming that he is a veteran when he never passed combat training. Not once, but twice. I'll try. I'm glad he uses the acronym. I'm glad he uses the acronym. Oh, my Shannon, my Bahaba. What's up, Shannon? How you doing, baby? I'm glad you're here. Um, I don't know if you've gotten a chance to get any of this information, Shannon. You know what? I haven't had you on my stream yet, Shannon, but I want you up. Do you have time? If I give you a link, can you come up here and talk to me just for a little bit? Just for a little bit. It'd be nice. It'd be nice if you could. I'm gonna drop the link for Miss Shannon. This is for Miss Shannon because I have not had her up here, and I want her to be up here. Just so everybody knows, um, don't tell Lupe, but this is my future wife. A V in the F, a V in the F part, Danny, a V in the F, and Feliz Navidad to you. Prospero año would be the next part after that. That means Happy New Year. And here is the love of my life, Miss Shannon is my name.
Oh, buenos dias, chulo.
Buenos días, ¿cómo estás?
Bueno, bueno. ¿Y tú?
Yo bien aquí. Estoy hablando del señor Donald Atwater Cameron Jr.
Yes, I know. I've heard a little bit about it earlier. I saw Ruski was streaming a little bit about it. So, yeah.
Okay, well, I like I said, this is I'm trying to get fresh eyes on it. Of course, I didn't know that today was the anniversary of his death. I was told this in the chat, and so I was like, you know what? I want this to be I want this to be something where like I'm gonna I want to bring out information on him and stuff like that. So it's important for me to get fresh eyes on it. And that's why I've asked people to share, in Amy's Discord, my friend Cindy's Discord. I'm just getting people just to get the information out, get more people on eyes on this case. Because my thing is that if you get eyes on this case, right? If you start looking at it and you say to yourself, well, who is Donald Atwater Cameron Jr., right? And then you say, well, he is the combat Marine veteran who got shot senselessly on Christmas Day. And then you ask, well, who would do such a thing? And then you say Michael Kaiser. And then you bring up all of this. This is a good way to not only bring light to a case that's a cold case that should be being tried right now, but it also brings light to a piece of shit murder burglar who's out there making money off the name of veterans, saying that he's a combat veteran, a disabled combat veteran, just like Donald Atwater Cameron Jr., when he never even passed basic training twice. Not
I
once,
agree.
twice.
I agree. Stolen valor is something that is inexcusable. But not only that, it tarnishes the memory of those who have served our country proudly and bravely and have been needlessly murdered. I don't know his specifics. I know that there's a lot of people that are in the service that have needlessly died at the hands of other people and have no justice for them. Unfortunately, that's a sad casualty of being in the military, you know? But like even in urban settings, like even in our everyday lives, I mean, look at how much violence goes unnoticed, how many unsolved cases that we have where people are needlessly murdered for
Right.
other people's agendas, you know? But what's worse is that you have somebody that comes out who perpetuates being a soldier, perpetuates being a patriot, perpetuates being a hero for the country, for the people, and all the while is benefiting and publicizing off of this, and they're actually the individuals that are, you know, taking advantage of these real heroes. That's absolutely disgusting on every
Right.
level.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm saying is that this dude, and I said it in Ruski's chat, and I this was
Thanks, Danny.
Danny. Just so you know, Danny is one of the greatest mods ever in the history of modding. If you don't invest in an Alexa, don't invest in a Siri, invest in a Danny. She will get you information that you don't even know you were looking for until she finds it,
No.
because that's how good she
Well,
is.
here's the thing. I'm trying to stay out of the intelligence sector, to be honest with you. I'm trying to mind my own these days. I do have opinions, though, however. I mean, like, I come from a military family. My son in law's in the Air Force. My father served in Vietnam. My grandfather served in World War II. You know what I mean? Come
Yeah.
from a long line of military. But what makes you so passionate about the military? Did you ever serve?
No, I didn't. I didn't serve. But you know what makes me passionate about it is that when I was in high school, and you should know because I'm a baby, remember?
You are a
Um,
baby.
when I was in high school, 9/11 happened. And of course, you know, patriotism at the time was very strong and people wanted to be, you know, like in the military. And
How
so
Sure.
fucking old are you?
I was
He's a
born in 80,
baby.
I was born in 84, sir. So
Holy shit. You could be my kid.
I hope that
Yeah,
changes
he
the
could, he
dynamics of
could
our
almost be
relationship,
my
Katie.
kid too. Well, I don't know. I
Yeah.
still have a few more years.
Look, look, you hush, Shannon. You don't worry about that.
With whom am
Anyways,
I speaking?
oh, this is Schmitty.
Hi,
It,
Schmitty. I'm
Uh,
Shannon. It's nice to meet you, darling.
Hello, darling. It's not Schmitty. He says it's Schmitty because of his speech impediment, but it's Smitty.
Smitty. All
Yeah.
right, cool. Like Captain Hook's right hand man, Smitty.
No.
Oh,
that's Shmi, by the way.
oh, that's Shmi. That's right.
GMK Dork and everybody in chat. I hope this changes the dynamic a little bit as far as like who am I and everything. But please don't. I've always been a little bit more mature for my age. I've always been able to hang out with older people. As a matter of fact,
Who
I've
told you
actually
that?
No.
older people have told me that.
What?
He does have very eclectic music taste. He does know stuff from the 70s and the 80s, so I give him a little bit past that. He's like one of those bubble kids that aren't exactly Gen X like us, or
I think he's still in a bubble.
but he's not a millennial either, so he's kind of in between.
Yeah, I'm kind of in between. That is a very good description. I am in between. I'm not Gen X technically,
No.
and I'm also not really in the millennials. You know, like I'm not a
Yeah,
millennial.
you're a bubble baby. Yeah.
I'm a bubble
You're a
baby,
bubble baby.
bubble baby,
Yeah.
bubble baby,
I
bubble baby.
graduated high school in 92, even though I was supposed to technically graduate in 93.
Yeah, and I graduated 2003. Well, technically, I was supposed to graduate in 2002. Now that had to do with me being born in October. Now I'm saying a lot, and I'm really doxing myself in a big way. Uh, um, that's the truth about it, though, and so of course, back to the question, why am I
Oh
so into
my
this?
God, Jerry, are you a Libra?
Yes, I am.
Oh my God, my Libras. Oh Lord, the
Uh,
Libras.
that
What?
explains
What?
so much.
I know,
What?
right?
What?
Smitty,
I'm a balanced baby. What do you want from me?
Balance,
my
baby.
Libras. Oh my God, the guy I was desperately in love with was a Libra. Ugh.
I knew it. I knew it.
He,
There's a
he
reason why
put me through the ringer. Oh, my poor Virgo heart. So
GMK, I love you, buddy. I freaking love you.
I
Anyways,
love GMK because he's got dork after his name. I love
well,
dorks.
well
Dorks and nerds are my specialty, my friend.
well, if I can
Oh, hello.
if I can direct you to another great guy, if you haven't subbed to Stone Vet, you need to sub to Stone Vet. He is one of the most hilarious people and has one of the funnest lives that you'll ever go to. Of course, he's very short on panels, but he's very fun to listen to and to be in chat with.
Hey, I'm a nerd too. I'm right here.
GMK,
I love it, Smitty. I love the
Smitty,
nerdy.
wait 1 second. Let me get to you. Jeez, I
No,
can't. I can't. My dick
what are you
sucking.
talking about? Somebody that ain't here. The fucking guy ain't even here. Talk about people that are here.
Would you wait?
He's trying to kick
Wait.
me in the nose, Smitty. Damn, he's trying to
Ah,
he's trying to let me know who all the cool peeps are around here.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. That's what I want to do. So, like I said, you must sub
See,
to.
y'all don't
hey,
know me
Jerry.
either. I'm the gigantic nerd of the century, man. You guys,
Doubt it.
I am. I shit you not.
Prove it.
You're the most beautiful nerd I've ever met. Anyways, look.
Aw, thanks, Jerry, my chulo.
Oh, anyways, yeah, you may
Mijo.
stop it.
I ain't calling you that.
Anyways,
Mijo.
back to the question at hand. You asked me why I was so passionate about this, and like I said, I graduated in 2003, and my graduating class before me was full of my friends who went to the service, who were in the service, and my graduating class had a couple people that went as well. And as far as them returning, we had 12 in the first class who were in the service who left when they graduated. Only 6 came back. And
It's a long story.
no, I'm getting there. If you guys would just stop interrupting
No,
me a second.
I'm asking a question because I can go change the oil in my car or something while I'm waiting.
It's not going to be as long as changing the oil, but you could probably check your brakes while I'm telling the story. But anyways,
Yeah,
Pump those brakes.
those
Pump
are
those brakes.
those are optional.
but yeah, well, so we had 12. We had 12 of us, 12 of the graduating class before me who went into the service because of 9/11. Only 6 came back. Then about 8 of us in my graduating class went to the service, and only 4 came back. So this is why I'm passionate about it. I lost a lot of friends, just living in South Central Los Angeles, and losing them to, war reasons was even worse because it's not one, but like 6 at a time, 4 at a time. It was very heart wrenching, especially me that I was involved in football and, in a lot of like extracurriculars where all these people were affected in my life. And, it was it was just something that affected me a lot. And so being that some of my family is in military and stuff like that, I've had this reverence for military people because I feel like we have there's a kindred spirit thing going on there where I grew up in a tough neighborhood where I seen death, and then there's death in the military, and then I've
There's death everywhere, baby boy.
yeah, but I'm not talking about your cat dying or
Well,
your
Baby
dog.
boy.
let me ask you this. How do you feel about this recent bill that can draft women as well? How do you feel about that? Do you feel like that's an equality that should have happened a long time ago that leveled the playing field? Do you
I feel
believe that women should be as equally drafted into a war as men?
I feel that nobody should be drafted in a war. But if I had to say, that if women
How do
had
you
to,
tell the difference nowadays?
that's a good question.
Well,
I'm asking.
according to Donald Trump, you just grab him by the pussy, and then you should be able to know.
Well,
Wow,
I don't think that'll ever go out of style because I mean that's pretty.
Well, there was a whole Me Too movement and all that shit, so I don't know.
They don't care. Yeah, that was at the moment. They don't care about that
No, they don't
anymore.
care anymore. I tell you what, somebody grabs my pussy, they better fucking run for the hills because their balls are up on my chopping block next.
If they grabbed mine got caught.
And trust me, grabbing my pussy is gonna hurt a lot less than me yanking off somebody's balls. I can tell you that
my
much.
God, this is not going where I expected.
This conversation just went south.
Just went south to
Literally.
the border. You know,
Literally.
South, it went under the pantalones. Oh
We're
no.
we're in we're past Mexico. We're in El Salvador now. By the way,
Hey,
everybody, the
just leave my
streamer.
papusa alone, okay? That's all I got to say.
I'll get all that pupusa if you ask me. Anyways,
Well, it's somebody's pusa.
Papusas are lovely.
you don't know what a
Oh.
pupusa is?
I love
By the way,
papusas.
by the way,
I
to
love
further thoughts,
revoltas.
that's good. That's actually
I'm an old
like
man with a weak heart. Stop.
uh by the way, for anybody who wants to join, the link is there. If you guys want to join, I can have up to 10 people up here, by the way.
Get your
You
asses
don't
up
even know 10
here.
people.
I'll rip all your balls off. It'll be fun. Merry
Oh,
Christmas. Jingle balls, jingle balls.
jingle all the way.
I don't care.
Anyways,
Oh, I know you don't care, Smitty. That's why I like you.
How do you know I don't care? You don't even know me.
Exactly. I can tell by the tone in your voice you don't give a fuck. It's lovely.
No, that's my saying. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I woke up this morning, looked all over my fucking house. There was not one fuck I gave anywhere to anybody. And it was
I got
Christmas.
merch. I got my own merch that says it. I'm dead serious. Go to Demo Nation on his merch store, and you will find Smitty Sanitarium merch. It says, "I don't care. We don't care." Hashtag. It's all there. If you
You're
look at the
okay with
chat,
it?
and then me
Listen,
is
Danny, I am also okay with it, to be honest
I
with
didn't
you.
even
I
get to my
believe that
question.
our country was founded on equality, and if men should be drafted, so should women. And I believe that we all have attributes that bring a strength to our country. It doesn't necessarily have to be physical, you know what I mean? It could be
I
mental, it
absolutely
could be
agree.
I
now back to
have
our
a lot
infomercial.
of abilities as a female that males don't have that would serve the military greatly. You know what I mean? Intelligence is
Yeah,
a major thing in military, you know?
yeah, like your pupusa.
Like my papusa. It's the
Oh boy, here we
smartest
go again.
fucking that's the smartest fucking pocket in El Salvador, motherfuckers.
Yeah, well, I agree, and that's exactly the point that I was gonna make. Is that like first of all, I think that a lot of the war that we're in, the wars that we're in, like are not anything that that's important to us. I think that we're doing a lot of like UN stuff. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I just know that I think there's a lot of senseless things that happen out there for the benefit of people that have nothing to do with the actual civilians that are here. And I think that a lot of civilians are too lazy to do research and find out what exactly we're in. They just go ahead and go along with what people are saying. And so I think that's a lot another category of things that we think about. But I do feel like we are based on equality, and women should serve like men. They have their own things
Hey,
to give.
I'm just not a good feminist. I mean, that's the whole thing. If you're one pro or another, if you're a feminist or if you're into the patriarchy, then you're basically excluding one or the other, right? So if you do believe in total equality, then you have to see both sexes as having their equal advantages in what we play as a role in society and as in civility. You know what I mean? Women are very strategic. They raise men. The best men in the world are born by women. You know what I mean? So the fact that you would discount a woman from being in a war type situation would be vastly overlooking an asset that you could possibly use to your advantage. You know what I mean?
You can
So
use it strategically.
even though I love women, I love men too. I love people, and I think we all have our place within the cogs of the wheels that make the universe run. You know?
Right, and I think
Put
that
the women, put all the women that it's their time of the month on the front of the line and stand back.
Shit.
what are you gonna do? Drown them in blood?
Nah, we'll just
No, they'll
toss
be pissed
tampons
off.
at them, and everybody will start running. You guys can't even handle a sanitary napkin. They'll be all, "Ugh." Nah,
I
look,
think it
I mean
ruined for me when they
that's the whole
made
thing.
it
Y'all
a
talk about
napkin.
our periods. Let's talk about your myriads. I mean, you guys might not bleed out of your fucking assholes or anything like that, but you guys all get that moody time of the month too. Let me tell
You
you.
don't? You're not
Yeah,
supposed
you
to?
do.
Oh, I think I
You
should
sure
see a
shit
doctor
do.
then.
I call it your myriad.
I should go see a doctor, I guess.
Nah, I think most of you just grab a 6 pack and watch fucking football. That's what most of you do when you're on your married. You're like,
Hey,
fuck the world.
I don't
Smitty and
watch sports.
Smitty and Shannon,
No.
Smitty and Shannon, you guys got control of my life for just a second. I gotta call work. They're texting me about something, so let me just
All
talk to
right.
them. I'll be right back. But
What?
go
They
ahead.
don't know how to make a pizza?
Yeah, I guess I don't know. Just go ahead and go ahead and talk for a minute. I'll be right back. It should
Hey,
take them 5
Jerry's always
minutes.
got it hot and ready. What can I say?
Yeah, I guess.
Woo!
I,
How
I
old are
don't
you,
need to know that.
Smitty?
How old do I sound?
19.
Close.
How old do you sound? I don't know how people sound. I mean, what makes your voice sound older or younger?
I
Is it
don't
your
know.
attitude? Is it your persona? Is it your flippant style? Is it your music taste? What makes somebody sound old or young?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, so how old are you, my friend?
51. Oh, excuse me,
51?
50 fucking one. 50 fucking one.
All right, all right. So you're in my wheelhouse. I'm 48. So we could have went to high school together.
I never went to high school.
You never went to high school? Oh shit, I went to high school.
No, I went on my own at 13, never looked back.
Yeah, so you got your education basically
On
in
the
life.
streets of New Jersey.
New Jersey. Oh yeah, Jersey boy, eh? You don't have
Hell
that
yeah.
Jersey accent.
Eh, I guess. I don't know.
Are you still in
Uh,
Jersey?
no, I'm in North Carolina and I don't have that
And now
accent.
that sounds about right. You do have a North Carolina accent. I
No,
do
I
hear the
don't.
southern a little bit.
Oh, hell. Get your hearing checked. I ain't no freaking. Never mind.
Ain't no freaking darling southern
Yeah, you're going
accent.
down
No,
by
it's
the
all
creek.
Jersey.
Yeah. Uh huh.
Darling. Like my
Well,
family's from the south. They're from like Oklahoma.
I'm
So
sorry.
you can tell a little bit of south in that voice. More so than a Jersey boy. You aren't going, you aren't saying, let's go to the shore, Jim Tan
Down,
Laundry.
no, it's down the shore. Everywhere you are in Jersey, you go down the shore
Oh, okay.
and get a cup of coffee. If you go down the shore, you get pork roll. If you stay up north where I'm from, you get Taylor ham.
Nah, Danny, I'm 48. I'm 48 years young. Actually, I'm older than a fucking
Man, I remember when
goddamn
I was
nomad in
40.
a sage in a mountain, Danny. I'm 48. I was born in 1975, September 17th, 1975. 9/17/75.
wow, you're just gonna dox yourself like that?
No, they all know this shit anyways. All the people that can't stand me already know everything they possibly could know fucking about me anyways. They've
I
Oh,
gave
they've
him my address.
you
I
call him
doxed
Yeah, I mean
premature
myself.
they
age,
all.
Shannon?
I mean, like I'm not trying to hide who I am. I don't give a shit. I went to college and I've never been arrested and I don't even have a speeding ticket. All right, anything
Really?
they dig up on
Uh,
me, yeah, is fake. I'm honestly like fucking squeaky clean. I'm vanilla.
Mm.
I had my children early. I had to stay on the right track, man. I couldn't be
Oh,
like a
okay.
fuck up. I couldn't be a drug addict. I couldn't be a criminal. I had to
All
go to
right.
college and make a life for my kids. It was more
now
important
you can
than
do
me
whatever
having
you want.
fun. Yeah, true. Absolutely true. Now, if I want to be a fuck up drug addict loser, I can, but I'm too old and I don't give a fuck about doing all that. I just want to sit here and eat a peanut butter jelly sandwich and smoke a joint
And talk to Jerry.
and talk to Jerry and Smitty and Danny
Yeah, and see.
and GMK Dork.
By the way, Shannon has her own channel.
I'm
Her
sorry.
channel name is
Me
Shannon
too.
is my name. And if you want to sub to her, please do. She has fun lives. Most of it is her ranting and raving about these people who get on her ass, but sometimes we have fun. I'll be on
Yeah,
her channel.
I told you, Jerry, I'm done with that, man. I'm erasing that fucking past, present, and future. I'm segregating myself. There's no use fighting about it anymore. Like they can
Well,
say and do
Shannon, you
whatever
got to
they
come
want.
over to my
I'm done
channel.
addressing it. I've been doing it for too long already. For somebody that's got any kind of intellect whatsoever and continuing to engage in this shit is fucking dumb as fuck. It's not like I'm out doing my channel for the views. So it's really
Most
just me and my
definitely.
friends hanging out, you guys. And sometimes crazy shit happens, and sometimes I rant because I'm very opinionated. But it's all for the good of justice and balance, everybody. It's just so everybody's in the know.
Come check out my channel. I got a good group of girls over there that you get along with.
Nah, girls don't like me.
No, these will. Trust me, I can tell. I know my girls. I know what they like. I know what they don't like.
You know what, GMK? I was never fucking straight edge. I've always kind of smoked pot, but when it comes to like my life, like
Yeah.
I was raped at 15, so I had a child really young. So like I left home at 16, and I had to like stay on the right path because I was the only thing that he had, and it instantly changed my focus from myself to that child. And then I was married very young at like 18, so I just hustled, man. I was the one who owned the house and had the cars and ran my own business and went to college, and I didn't have time to fuck around and be a weirdo. It was I just now I have time to be that, but like I don't want to be because I'm old now.
Doing a great job.
Thanks. I tried.
Doing a great job of being a weirdo or not being.
Yeah. What's wrong with
Both.
that? That's something to be proud of.
There you go.
What is
You see what
in
I'm saying?
2024? What is
Thanks,
weird
Danny.
anymore? What could be
Yeah, right.
more weird than what's going
Right.
on? Come on.
Well, you see, look at this is why I'm saying don't invest in a Siri. Don't invest in an Alexa. A Danny is what you need. A Danny. See, we were just talking about her channel.
No.
Bam. There it is. There's the link. Perfect.
Well, he
Just
better bring his own food. I ain't feeding him.
it's not a he, it's a she.
I'll feed
Oh.
y'all. I'll feed you, Danny. I that's what I do. I should have
This gendered somebody. I'm
I
going to
should have
hell.
been an abuela because all I want to do is feed people all the time.
Yeah, I like to eat.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like to eat, and then I throw up, and I still like to eat it.
yeah, you can feed me pupusas if you want.
My
I
dog
don't know
might
how to
like it.
make pupusas. That's one thing I don't know how to make is pupusas. I
Isn't
wish I
that like a
did. I think
blanket,
that's why I
or
crave
you?
them so much is because I can't make them. I need to learn how to
The,
make them, Jerry.
the
I
fuck
don't
is it?
have any Salvadorian grandmas that can teach me.
I lost myself for a minute there. Are you guys here?
Yeah,
No, we left.
the only Salvadorian I know is Alvaro and my ex's wife or baby mama, whatever you call. But I ain't gonna ask either one of those to teach me how to make pupusas.
Well, just and of course I'm doxing myself even further now.
60ish.
I
What the
I am
fuck?
I am half Salvadorian, half Mexican actually. My mom
Oh,
is Salvadorian. My dad is Mexican. Hello, welcome to
hello.
welcome
That's a nice
welcome to that
mix.
the diversity that is Jerry.
My
That's how
father,
you became such a large big boy.
Is
my
that why?
father's from Cuba, and my mother was from Iceland, so I'm an ice cube.
Nice.
Nice. Well, I like to call
My
myself.
husband was a quarter Spanish, a quarter Mexican, and half Irish.
Yeah. I don't
So
have any.
But
altogether, it was a
he
dollar.
was raised by his Hispanic side of his family. His first language was Spanish. So he had to go to ESL for when he went to kindergarten to learn English.
Oh yeah, yeah. I did the same thing. I actually stayed in ESL till my high school years, um, and that was that was because I was excelling in the program, not because they were like, oh, this guy can be taught in Spanish and in English, and I was like, would you guys stop teaching me in English and in Spanish? I'm kind of getting a little bored of this, and they were like, you don't want to continue? I'm like, no, stop.
You know what? Shit though, here in California, it is a skill to be able to speak both Spanish and English. It is. It
No
really
me
is.
digas. No me digas.
It'll get you so many more opportunities here in California. I mean, you know that. You were growing up in South Central LA. I mean, you got to kind of know both. Like, I don't know Spanish really well. I had 4 years of Spanish in high school, and I lived with a family that spoke Spanish, and I live in California, so I can easily say I speak Spanglish. I understand a hell of a lot more than I actually can speak back to you because I'm constantly trying to reverse it. Because in
Danny,
Spanish,
I'm not a madam. Sorry.
because
Sorry, go
no,
ahead.
that's fine. Hey, I have a stream too. I talk over people all the time.
All right, good.
Like,
I won't feel bad.
yeah, don't feel bad. I'm
Not
not
like I
tripping.
felt bad to begin with. I usually don't.
That's cool, Smitty. I'm down for that. Like, I'd rather
All
people
right.
not give a fuck than people give too much of a fuck. It's kind of like, one of those things,
Oh, I
calm
checked out on
down.
life a long
It's like,
time
calm
ago.
down, sugar tits. It's just the internet.
I checked out on life a long time ago.
Yeah, yeah, for reals.
Just waiting to die.
Oh my God, this is. I'm hooking up
Well,
Smitty with
that's
Shannon.
What?
charitable. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, my wife died in May, so I'm really not in the mood for
I'm
holidays.
sorry. Smitty,
Oh.
I'm sorry. My husband died 4 years ago. So I get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this time of year always sucks for me, which is why I like try to stay
Yep.
off the internet and be with my family that loves me. Because no matter what I do, I'm always a little sad this time of year. And
Well,
that's
I
not
mean,
what my husband would have wanted at all for me.
well,
At all.
Yeah.
in law and losing people in those terms, like I get it, like it's difficult. Every time, like I come across some memory of people that I've lost. It's like it immediately brings me back to those moments. So
Gary, bring it back before you depress everybody. They're
I'm gonna
full.
depress everybody,
No,
Schmitty, and I
I'm
don't
with you,
care.
Jerry. I mean, I do too. I try not to stay in the nostalgia because I know that those people that I've lost would not want me to be sad right now at this time of year. They know how
No.
much I love them, and they know how much I love this time of year and how joyful and beautiful it is. And they wouldn't want me to be sad, but it is a little difficult,
It's
when
difficult.
you look around that Christmas table and there's those faces that aren't there anymore.
Yeah, exactly. No, and that's exactly it, and that's exactly why I'm passionate about this subject, about stolen valor, about Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. Because, like I said, I grew up around a lot of people in my community. The people that I grew up with in my school and everything, like the football players, the basketball players, the guys that I grew up with, we were close. I mean, we're all kids that came from broken families, so it was cool to have a Thanksgiving all together. It was
Right.
cool to have a Christmas all together. We were
Right.
we were each other's family, and then like for them to get lost, like over a war that we never really agreed on. We knew that we were fighting terrorism and stuff, but at the time it was like we didn't want our friends to go, and they went because they wanted to serve for our country, and not having them come back was sad, like
Well,
especially.
that really wasn't about terrorism anyways. That was about oil.
Well, I mean, yeah,
And
that
that's
that
the
was.
sad, that's the underlining
Mm-hmm.
thing. That was about
Yeah,
rich men and oil. We went under the guise of terrorism, but that's not what it was
right,
about.
right, yeah, that's what makes it so sad
That's
is
what
that
they sold
after.
the public. The public was like invoking people's patriotism, and they were like, come and help free these women and these children from the oppression, from the terrorism from which they're living. And people signed up for that gang ho. I mean, they were into it. And the fact is we really weren't there for that at all. It had ulterior motives, and a lot of
Yeah,
people died for it. A lot of
yeah,
people.
I agree, and that's what makes it even more sad after the fact, is that like not only did my friends not come back, but then to find out it was a needless war, it just like it hurts even more. And so
Well,
that's
let's
why
face it, Jerry. Most of them are needless wars. They're all wars
I
fought for
agree.
rich men.
I agree. That's why I told you I don't feel like unless you're like literally defending your borders, or literally defending people from real oppression, not this fake privilege, whatever type of oppression. I'm talking about real dictator shit, right?
Yeah.
Um, then I don't get it. I'll never get killing people over a land or oil or anything like that, or
It's
some
just the way
man's.
we are. It's the way humans are. We are territorial. We seek power. We enjoy luxury, and in order to live in luxury, so we don't have to worry, we have to have the most power, the most money. It's the way our nature is. I mean, the whole reason why Jesus Christ is hailed as such a savior amongst our people to here in Northern America is because, I mean, the whole thing is it's the opposite of what our society is. Jesus is about, uh, giving to the poor and healing the sick and looking at everybody equally and giving kindness despite your neighbor's fucking vindictiveness. It's everything we're taught not to be as we're growing up as people. We're taught to fight. We're taught to be savages. We're taught to get money. We're taught to count paper. We're taught to have the prettiest wife and the best fucking kids and all this other shit. And it's all superficial shit. It's shit that you
Hmm.
can't take with you on this. It means nothing at the end of the day. Nothing. All it is it's giving you comfort. A comfort in not having financial stress.
That's that's beautifully said, Shannon. I couldn't have put it better myself.
It
That's
just
actually very,
is.
yeah. That's
It's the nature of people. It's what we're constantly been fighting with since our, development as articulate individuals that have forward thinking and not just fucking animals scraping dirt and living in caves. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, and that's one of the reasons
I
why.
mean, we work so hard so we can retire. Do you understand? I mean, like
Yeah,
everything that we seek as human beings is comfort. We seek comfort.
I'm
yeah,
retired already.
Yeah.
yeah. We
Mine
do
too,
seek
but
comfort. Yeah,
I lost a few limbs in order to do so, and I worked my ass off since I was 15 years old. So
What limb did you lose?
I'm missing my left leg from the knee down, and I'm missing my right toe, big toe.
I'm
yeah.
partially paralyzed on the left side. How about that?
I'm sorry. I just had an ocular stroke in my left eye, but I'm not paralyzed. Thank God.
I had a stroke. I
I'm
went all the way.
sorry.
Listen, guys, if we're gonna start ripping off clothes and start showing each other scars, okay, then we're gonna have to turn on our cameras.
There is video footage of my leg on my channel and on Janny's channel. I'm
Well,
not I'm not ashamed of it, dude. It just happens. I mean, like I didn't lose my leg until I was 44. So that was only 4 years ago, and it was right after my husband died. So I lost him, he died, and then
Well,
my
at least you
mother
got a leg
died
to
right
stand
after
on.
that, and then I lost my leg. So I had 3 major blows in 2019.
wow. Well, I mean that's how it comes, right? When it rains, it pours.
Hey man, my whole life changed, man. It the whole fuck my like my
Mm-hmm.
husband wasn't sick. He had a heart attack. That I lost the majority of my income that was being put in. I had to get rid of my big house. I live now very modestly until I can retire for real retire. Like I'm retired, but like I'm not really retired. I can't even start collecting on my I'm only 48. So I can't even start collecting on my social security for a few more years. So
I know, yeah, that sucks. I think that's one thing that really sucks about Social Security. It's like they make you go through the ringer if you're really somebody who needs it at
Took
the
me
moment.
4.5 years.
oh,
It,
I don't get the welfare social security where, you're deemed handicapped or whatever. I'm not missing enough limbs and my previous career didn't have anything to do with a physical ability. I'm basically turned into the IRS as a computer programmer, so you don't have to have legs to do that. So
I landscape and run heavy equipment, so you kind of need legs and
yeah,
arms.
you kind of need to be able to do that, but I didn't. My career was not what the IRS knows me as a computer programmer. So
Yep.
I don't even qualify for like rehabilitation because
you
my
are a
job doesn't
nerd.
require me to have a leg.
You're an IT nerd. Look at you.
I am an IT nerd. You didn't know that? No, I mean,
No.
my
I'm
first degree was computer science. I have a ton of certifications. I speak like 17 different, I program in 17 different languages, and none of them are relevant now, but I do. I mean, the last relevant language that I studied was Python, and I only scraped the surface on that bitch. But yeah,
well.
I'm
How
an
you
IT
do
dork.
Python? Is
I
that
don't know.
Python
I
like
got
a
a
snake
Python.
sound?
Um,
No, well, yeah, Python is the the building block programming system in which
Yeah, we heard that, Jerry, and we're walking over it. We're glazing
YouTube
over
and
it.
TikTok and you know.
I'm just having a little fun. Can I have a little fun, Schmitty? Can I have a little fun?
No.
Can this be my stream for a second?
Well, not when you bring out the Jerry Gardner snake.
It is. What? Wait a minute. Have you seen that?
It's all over the internet. I mean, who hasn't?
Oh,
By
okay.
now.
Fuck. Ah, goddamn. Shit.
True, Danny. Absolutely 100% true. Since our inception on this planet, we have always tried to dominate. You know, it's top of the food chain. First of all, it's what mammals do and animals in general to begin with. But look at us. Look at our detriments as human beings. And this is the same reason why I believe in equality in the military. We don't have
Danny said you're
claws.
a homo.
We don't have fangs. We were never equipped with those things. We had to use our brains and our ingenuity in
We
order to be
weren't built
top
for
of the
this
food
planet.
chain. We aren't savage animals. So we had to adapt to survive, and now we're the top of the food chain.
Well,
And we
you never
really
see me
had
eat a
no
pizza, to be
tools
fair.
whatsoever physically to help us be that other than our brains. It's quite amazing when you think about it. Quite a reflective, introspective thing when you think about the gifts that we're given as humans or what other mammals might have. Like, people don't realize how smart elephants are, or
And
dolphins, or
Bigfoot.
whales,
Bigfoot. Shit.
Sasquatch. You know, they
He's
believe
fucking real.
Bigfoot is part of an alien race.
Nah, I don't believe that, but he is real.
Wait a minute. How can you believe Bigfoot is real, but you
Well, let me ask you something, Jerry. Let me ask you something, Jerry. Sit down. We're going to have the talk.
Go ahead. That's me.
Show me the proof he ain't real. Just because science goes, no, he's not real. They've been given body parts.
That's the beautiful thing about science, right, Smitty? It's constantly updating
Well, they
and
tested.
changing when new discoveries are made,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So, like, as beautiful as science is and as mathematical as we can make it, as soon as a new
Not real.
objective enters, it could totally shift the balance of what we see as reality, correct? And if we could
And if you
truly,
say you haven't seen them, all right, go ahead. All right. You got
yeah,
it.
well, I don't see the wind either, but I know it's there, right?
Schmitty, I don't
You know.
I know it's there because I can feel it.
Don't fight
I
me
can
on
hear
Bigfoot,
it.
all right? Don't fight me on Bigfoot.
We won't, Schmitty. We won't fight you. We'll just
All
tell
right.
you that you won't.
I fight everybody, Smitty. You want to fight? Let's fight.
I'll fight.
We'll
I'm
fight.
a fighter.
You want to fight? Let's fight.
I'm a fighter.
Okay.
I ain't...
Here, have this
When?
candy.
GMK. You got me on that one, buddy.
Well, JFK was killed because he knew too much about the aliens. Look it up. One of the main reasons why he was killed.
Disclosure of the government, and yeah, they wanted.
And aliens was part of it
because of that. He wanted a completely
Reagan too.
transparent government. He wanted all the private.
I was in third grade when Reagan got shot. That's why Reagan they missed.
Yeah.
They missed, but they were taking him out too because when Spielberg came out with E.T., he gave the president a private showing. In the White House, they have a little movie theater. They sat there next to each other, and there was like 6 other people in the room. When the credits started rolling, he turned to Spielberg and said, "You, me, and 6 other people know that's real." So, believe it or not. I mean, I don't care who believes it. I just say, you know what? You can believe in other things.
Hang on, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Don't threaten us. Anyway.
Well, back to the main subject at hand.
What was it? I forgot.
I was talking about how that guy JJ still thinks that
J
Wrangler.
J.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Who the
talking
hell's
about.
J J?
That corrections, the dude that was speaking to Friday Wrangler on his live. He's a corrections official. I'm not sure. I think he's the warden of a jail or something like that.
Oh, no wonder.
Yeah, and and apparently he's cool with Wrangler to the point where he said Pats, the troll auditing the trolls, the guy who called out Wrangler for the first time, he's saying that he's jealous of him. He's jealous of Wrangler and his life. Now, I think that's so silly that you would say something like that. And
Is
that
this
being,
guy fucking inbred? Is he inbred?
I'm starting
He
to
sure
think
sounds
that maybe
like.
he is. I'm
I
starting to
mean,
think that maybe he is.
oh yeah. Oh my God, I'm jealous. You murdered somebody and I didn't. Oh, how dare you? The horror.
Right. Right.
Said no one ever. I don't
Right,
think.
exactly. That's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, what makes you think that anybody would be jealous of that man? I keep correcting myself because calling him a man is fucking wrong. That guy is not a man. Wrangler is not a man. He's nothing close to a man. He's a piece of
Jerry,
shit.
you got to use reverse psychology with these monkeys. What you got to
Really?
do, yeah, what you got to do is when they come around here,
Mhm.
encourage them to support Wrangler. Encourage them to give them all their money.
Well, I
Just
I
load
I
them with
really
the money.
I really
And
do
don't
agree
feel
with
bad. Don't feel bad if it's an elderly person that doesn't know any better. Then
you.
they
Mhm.
should get their grandson over and to help them figure it out. Sorry.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Absolutely. And
Every time I make a comment on one of Chili's posts, I encourage everybody to send him money.
well, again, like I said, I encourage people who are following Wrangler right now to give him your money. A fool and his money. The separating thing. I don't know that whole quote.
The fuck are you eating?
I'm having coffee. I'm just I ran
What
out
are you
of
drinking it with a spoon?
no.
He's
I
stirring it.
stirring it. Yeah, I don't have. I ran out of sugar, and so I added milk to it. But I'm making sure that it's stirred in perfect because I don't really like tasting the milk. So
Shannon, you ruined the joke. Thanks a lot.
Danny went off on a tangent for the with
I
with the whole
can't.
milk
I
thing.
can't blame a
Go
man for
program something.
wanting. Listen, I can't blame a man for wanting a little milk in his coffee. All right,
Mm,
All
okay.
right. You know what I mean?
stir a
Yes.
little cream in his cafe, my friend.
Mhm.
Yeah. Never turned out green. You know what I mean?
It always rises to the top. It's the cream of the
Uh
crop.
huh.
Yes,
Uh
sir.
huh.
Yes, sir.
to
That's what
quote,
she said.
to quote a famous '80s wrestler, the Macho Man Randy Savage. The queen
Oh yeah.
rises. Shit.
I never got to meet him.
You okay, sweetheart?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Smoke another one.
Yeah.
I never got to meet him. I met a lot of other ones. I never got to meet him.
Never got to meet Randy Savage.
Nah.
I was next to the kid that got Brett the Hitman Hart's glasses. I was like,
Oh,
why?
I hung out. I hung out with the Iron Sheik in a bar for like 3 hours. Got drunk with him.
No, I heard
You.
you.
Oh, he was fucking awesome. God rest his soul. He had a tough life too. I met him right after they found his daughter dead in New York City. Somebody kidnapped her and killed her,
Oh,
Oh
wow.
no,
or
really?
something to that effect. But yeah, I got to wear his medals from 1972 Olympics. Dude was awesome.
I never heard about that. That's amazing.
Yeah, I never heard about that either.
I hung out with Crowbar from WCW. I trained with him when I was going to school for wrestling. I trained with him.
Oh, so you did some wrestling, a little bit of amateur wrestling, little something.
No, professional wrestling.
Oh yes, did you ever work for a major promotion?
No, I didn't make it that far. I was 2 months away, and I had to do overtime on my job. And my ex at the time was a not so nice, supportive person. Let's put it that way. So I had to drop
Yeah.
out.
Well, if with like if I could like compare wrestling back then to now, I would say that would be like the YouTube, right? Like trying to become a YouTube content creator, trying to like tell somebody, hey,
This
I'm gonna do this, right?
it's about 30. Let's see, about 30 years ago. I was
Yeah,
21, I think.
yeah. I think I was probably like 7, maybe a baby.
I think the Attitude Era. That's when the Attitude Era was in.
Oh yeah, that was my
Oh,
time, man.
pobrecito,
If you would have wrestled
pobrecito.
during that time, I would have been so enamored by you right now. But since you didn't, I don't care.
Look, my
I don't
husband
care either.
took my son to a real match in wrestling, and then my son never wanted to watch wrestling again.
Really?
Yeah, he took him to one of the matches that had like a hottie. He liked hottie Scotty Too Hottie or
It's
some
too
shit
hot,
like that.
yeah.
And it had him and The Rock, and it was one of the professional matches. It was at the Selland Arena in Fresno, and my husband took him, and they came back, and my kid was like, "That is the fakest shit I've ever seen in my life. I never want to go again." I
Yeah.
was, yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I think it was after a boxing match. Because I remember being taken to a boxing match, like an amateur one of like something like 400 people or something like that, and it was like a prize fight. And I went to go see somebody that my family knew or whatever. And after going to that prize fight, right, and seeing like actual people fight, like boxers fight and stuff, I remember thinking to myself, like, there's something different about wrestling, right? And it automatically hit me, kind of like the whole Santa Claus thing, except that I was told as a kid that Santa Claus wasn't real because I grew up a Jehovah's Witness. So I was that monkey was killed right away. But the whole wrestling thing was still real to me up until like about like I was like 10, I think. Then I realized, bruising and stuff like that happens, and it wasn't happening in the wrestling ring. So I was like, okay, there's something off about this. But then like other things, later on, like what I saw Beyond the Mat and a couple of other like documentaries on wrestling, and it turns out, yeah, it's fake, but it's real at the same time. I mean, the men still
It,
could get
it
hurt.
that well, that's the whole thing. They're doing real tricks or whatever and stunts
Yeah,
or whatever, and they could get hurt doing it. But my kid thought it was real wrestling, and when like they were jumping on the thing, they would like there would be a delayed reaction, and he realized that they were like scripting it, and
right.
he when he was a kid and he watched it on TV, it was seamless. You didn't notice that it just looked like people wrestling. But when you went to the real matches, there was all kinds of fucked up shit that happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
I get it. Yeah, I've
and
been
my
through
kid
a
was
real
very
show.
disillusioned by it. He was like, "Fuck this!" I thought it was real. And I'm
Well,
like, "Well, it
I
is
think,
to an extent." And he's like, "No, that's scripted." It's like,
yeah, no, I get it.
Well, it okay. It's scripted where you know who's gonna win, and that's
right.
about it. Those moves ain't scripted. Okay, when you come flying off a ladder onto somebody's body on the table, there's no give in that table. That table just snaps. So that body's hitting the floor with your weight on top of them. Trust me, it freaking hurts. And I've been in
Well,
bar
no,
fights,
I like I said,
many.
I realize that they're like stuntmen. I mean, that's the truth of the reality, and that
Well, they
puts
know
them
how
in
to land.
danger. But the whole thing is a production. It's all production. It's all a show. It's all
right,
scripted
and
to an
there's nothing wrong
extent.
with that. I think one of the fun things about wrestling is being a mark. It might have negative
But what
connotations
do you
to
think real wrestlers think about that? Like people that really do wrestling,
Kurt
like
Angle
some.
was a real wrestler. The Sheik was a real, used to
They
do
like it.
amateur wrestling.
They
yeah.
like it. I
So
think they like
do
it.
they feel like they sold out their sport,
No,
uh,
No, no,
capitalizing
no.
on the fact because
no, by no
there is
means.
no winners there that are like from the actual
Well,
sport
Greeks used to
of
wrestle
wrestling. It's
before
all
pay per
it's
view.
all
The Greeks.
capitalistically decided.
well, the winners are the fans. The winners are the fans. The winners are always the fans in those shows because if you go in there, like it's like going to the movies, right? When you go to the movies, you're suspending your disbelief, right? Because you're going in there knowing that what you're gonna see is a movie. When you become a mark to wrestling, where thrown away the fact that it's not real, then you go in there having much more fun because you know that this whole situation, like you're not gonna see, a real grudge, and these men aren't actually mad at each other, but it's
Yeah, they
fun.
are.
But see,
Some of these
that's the
men
whole
are.
thing, right? I mean, like little kids, they
When
don't fucking know. They can't discern the difference between the sarcasm and what's entertainment and what's not. So when they
when
discover,
Macho
it's
Man,
like finding out that there's no Santa Claus. You know what I mean? Like you're
Yeah, that
what?
you're
makes
like
perfect sense. Yeah.
when you're young, you're
Wait,
like
whoa, whoa,
fucking
whoa, whoa!
Santa
What'd you
Claus,
say?
yay, yay, yay. He does magical things, and you realize it's just your fucking parents. You know what I mean? It's kind of
There's
like
no
that.
Santa Claus.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. The magic about being a
Then who the
mark is
fuck was fucking my mother back in '85?
Nah, your dad.
I saw
That's what
mommy
he said,
and
anyways.
Santa
Well, I didn't
Claus.
have a dad.
What? Well,
That's not what my friend said.
no,
All right.
Jesus. No, but look. That's the fun
God
about being
bless
a
your friend.
mark.
My friend's your dad.
That's the fun
All
about
right.
being a mark in that
Like
in
I
that
said, God bless your friend if he's listening or not.
you guys. That's the fun about being a mark in that situation, is that like when you find out that Santa isn't real, where the fun lies is not when you're a kid, when you find out, because obviously that's a sad moment for you. You're like, oh shit, I'm
Yeah.
just losing or whatever. But
But you
then
found out yesterday, didn't you, Jerry?
yes, I did.
That's why you're
But
talking
then,
about it. You finally found out yesterday.
well, the elf on the shelf was really suspect. Anyways, uh,
That
the
I
fucker's
got a
so
pooper, a
sus.
trooper, and a pooper.
when you
And
when you
let's talk about Elf on a Shelf for a minute. Because when the fuck did we get ice cream? Because I don't remember ever having an Elf on a fucking shelf when I was a kid.
this is that new shit. This is that new shit. Like
When
there.
did that become a fucking thing that this mischievous fucking elf sits on your fucking shelf and watches you like a stalker and shit and
Like
fucks
the
I
with
didn't.
your.
movie Puppet Master
Hey,
all
I
over
hear
again.
an echo. Do you guys hear an echo?
Yeah, I do hear one. I think it's Schmitty. Schmitty.
Yeah, blame it on the old guy that don't know technology. Yep.
just
Oh, Grandpa, you don't know how to use a mic.
Is it
okay. I'm
just
gonna.
me that's echoing?
No, it's Schmitty. I'm just gonna mute him for a second. Schmitty, you're muted. Um. Hang on. I was trying to make a point before you brought up the Elf on the Shelf. Again, the whole thing about being a mark in wrestling, and when you're having fun with it, it's like when you discover that Santa isn't real, right? When you first find out, it sucks, but then the fun comes back when you are doing it to your kids. When you are like doing the magic thing with your kids, and that's what being a mark. I think that's where it's fun. I think it's fun when you're already sharing in that, that little secret that it's not real. You know what I mean? Where
Mm.
you can make things about, like the actual match, and be like, oh, like you hear like The Rock, like making fun
You
of
have to be consciously wanting to engage in it again as
right.
entertainment, is what I'm saying. And if your dad is into it, then maybe that's like a thing you do together or whatever. But my son's father wasn't particularly into it. He just wanted to do something cool with his kid. It was a man thing to do, and his kid didn't enjoy it, so they never did it again.
Right.
But like, if you were
Right.
into it, I could see like you passing that down to your kid, and like, this is fun, and watch this, and all these wrestlers have backstories.
Yeah,
Blah blah blah
and
blah
that's
blah blah.
like I guess the fun for me, because
Hey,
like
Richard.
I grew up watching it, right? I grew up watching wrestling and stuff, and then I found out that it was fake, but then I still liked it afterwards. And then watching my little brother get excited into it, and knowing that it was fake, but having him be like so like passionate about it, made me have fun with it again too. So I think that's the fun of faking those things, is that like, it's the tradition of just, like burying down that tradition. And yeah, it always sucks when you find out that it's not real anymore.
Right,
But I
right,
think but I think the fun is always like, sharing with that little bit of magic, that little bit of, whimsy or whatever, you know what I mean?
right.
And
Well,
I don't know, look, so
Richard, all I can say is Santa Claus is real if you want to go back to the ancient traditions of Saint Nicholas, but he's not alive anymore. That would be scary. That'd be more like Krampus, like a devil, a demon Santa if he was still alive.
Ah,
But his traditions ring through us giving
yeah,
gifts
yeah,
to
that's
our
it.
children.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. That's it. That's exactly it. It's a scripted soap opera. Exactly. That would be it. That would be my assessment of it. You know what I mean? That would be my assessment of it. Is that it is a scripted sporting event.
Greetings, Woodrow.
Woodrow McCall is one of my newer followers, but he's one of the good ones. He's here when he's here, and he has a lot of fun when he's here. I like it when he's here. He makes me feel comfortable.
Hey,
Um,
I'm not a woman that would shy away from a good piece of wood. Just saying.
look at you! Stop it! Don't do that. Stop hitting on my subs, you beautiful woman. You.
Hello, anonymous dude. Yo, yo, yo. Happy ho.
Well, I don't know. I'm an hour in. And again, I don't know who else is gonna go live on this. I went on a few people. I don't. I've I went live earlier, and Ruski helped me out with the live earlier. I don't know how you feel about him, Shannon. Still,
I
uh,
don't know what's going on with him, to be honest with you. And somebody left a comment on one of my streams, and it's like another channel. It's called the Ruski, and I don't know if that's him or not. And they wanted me to watch a clip. I haven't spoken to him in the last couple days. The last I saw of him, he was doxing the Andrea girl. Uh, like for hours and hours. I don't know what the hell happened, to be honest with you. And then I was gone for 6 days, so I'm really not fucking positive of what's happening with that whole situation, Jerry. I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of at a loss because
well,
I don't know. I'm
well, I
not
just
into
found out.
doxing. I don't like doxing. I don't care who's done what to who. This is the internet. I don't like doxing. I can't get with doxing. I don't think there's any reason to dox anybody, like ever.
Well, I just realized he's here sitting backstage. So I don't know if do you feel comfortable with me bringing him
Yeah,
on?
yeah, you can bring him up. I don't care. I don't
Okay.
have any issue with. I mean, like that. That my only issue is that he doxed that girl. I mean,
Hi,
he's never done anything wrong to me.
and I won't, Shannon. I promise you I won't.
Uh, who are you talking to, anonymous dude? Are you talking to me, or are you talking to
Hi,
Shannon?
AD.
Or
What's going on, AD? How you doing, bud? That's my friend right there, kind of. The guy I know.
oh,
He's
okay.
Hey, Risky, can I ask you something? Are you the Risky? Are you the one that put that content on my page?
yeah. It was a log. Yes, that is me. I am the Ruski. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not somebody impersonating you. All right.
No, it is not. That is actually indeed me.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, Shannon. I did meet somebody on someone else's panel. Apparently, YouTube is extremely small. I met for the first time in my life. By the way, I never talk shit about you on anyone's panel. Just want you to know that I actually do like you a lot. But for the first time, I met LD on someone
Ah,
else's panel. Yes. Um, I feel like I have to say that just in case you get wind of it or someone stream sniped it or clipped it or whatever. Um, I met LD, and he knows a couple people that I didn't know who that person was at the time. I met him on a couple panels. I met him on Tanya Z. I don't know if you're familiar with her.
I am.
And I met LD on White Tupac. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Yes.
I saw that by today.
I don't like to be judged, and I don't like to judge others. How you do it, I feel the same way. I got to get to know the person because I've been through some things, Shannon, and I let you know from the get go that I left a few communities. because I was falsely accused of a lot of things, honestly. And I know what you're bringing up.
Hey, Brewski, and you know what? And just to add a little bit to this whole thing, and I told Shannon this yesterday. I'm not like writing you off for doxing somebody. Like I feel like there's probably context to that, but I also get what Shannon is saying as far as the doxing is concerned. It's very concerning behavior when you get into that realm. And I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't want anybody to do it. I'd say it's better off that you don't engage in behavior that you don't want people to engage in. So that's where I kind of get where Shannon's coming from, and other people who have like shunned you for it. But I'm not going to write you off on it, and I'd like to know more about your story.
I am not a stranger to being defamed and lied about and doxxed and understanding being human and wanting to hit at their level. I get that. Okay, I do. Like even in the worst context, risky. I get that. Okay, like they've done things to me you can't even imagine. All right, but the whole
Jerry,
point of it is.
sorry, Shannon. I got a private text you real quick. I'm
All
just
right, bye.
giving you a private chat you real quick, Jerry, and Shannon.
It's fine.
Hold on. Yeah, you got it, but Shannon and definitely Jerry. Hold on. I got to private chat you real quick.
Okay.
Wait, no, go with what you're saying. I'm going to mute myself, and yeah, hold on.
And like I understand the human aspect of it. At some point you get so frustrated and you get so wronged and you feel so angry about it that you just react, and you react out of a place that it comes from feeling like you don't have any justice and that the whole world's wrong, and you're just raging against machine.
Mm-hmm.
But I have personally been affected by doxing, so I can't ask of others what I'm not willing to do myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a hard time with anybody who puts people's personal shit out there. I just do. And it comes from my own experience as well. And I've made a really big effort to not hit that low ever to anybody, even though I've been on the internet for 8 years. I have straight streams, hate streams about me run quite a bit. And as far as that individual that you were speaking about, I do know both Tanya and LD. Um, it, they are just other human beings on this planet, and they have their flaws just as anybody else does, and they're welcome to point mine out if that's what they believe. But I have a strong sense of my own self-worth. I worked very hard at trying to be a decent human being, so it's very difficult for them to knock me off my pedestal when it comes to being a decent human being on the internet, because I really don't engage in shitty things. It makes me feel bad as a human, and my lifespan is very short, and I don't want to spend the last bit of it being disgusting to people. It's just that simple. And maybe that's my unique advantage that they don't have. Both of them have long lives to live. They both or all of them, don't see the impending end and what they want to leave behind. I don't know, but it just makes my perspective a bit different on the internet than most people. Now, I'll comment on the things that they lie about and they defame me about, but I'm not going to drop videos on them, and I'm not going to dox them, and I'm not going to harass their children, and I won't be calling their works, and I won't be talking about their bodies. These are just things that I won't be doing, because I'm not going to ask of anybody what I'm not willing to do myself, because it just makes me a hypocrite. So no matter what they do to me, it really doesn't matter. But I don't know what happened with you. And
I'd
I'm
like
sorry.
to for the person that's sniping me right now, Mr. Anonymous, if you could come here to my panel, I'd like to have a conversation with you. I mean, it's okay that you're stream sniping me. I do not care that you're doing this. I'd like you to come on. Like I've told Ruski plenty of times before. If he wants to speak his piece, he had every opportunity to do so. If he doesn't want to speak about it, it's fine with me. I'm not trying to force him to say anything, but I'm not writing him off either. So if you have something that you want to speak about, you want to come up here and talk about it, be my guest. Come on up. Come over here. Let's talk about it. Again, this whole thing about Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. has nothing to do with whatever beef is going on between people that are in your community. This is more important than that. This is way more important than that. This is about someone who was murdered in cold blood by someone who pretends to be a veteran, someone online who pretends to be a veteran. So if I can get more eyes on it, by all means, get over here. Let me go ahead and have a conversation with you, and we can go ahead and talk about Ruski if you want. Or I mean, I'm not here to bash him in any kind of way. He's been nothing but supportive to my channel. It doesn't mean that I'm not willing to hear you guys out. He's his own private person. He's different from me. We're not attached to the hip. But if you want to come up here and talk about it, anonymous, please, by all means, come over here and talk about it. I don't mind being stream sniped at all. I love the fact that there are more eyes on this situation, and I'm willing to speak more about Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. with anybody. That's what this is about for me. It's not about this whatever drama is going on between you guys. And trust me, I'm not above drama either. I've had my own share of things. And there's the stream. There is the link for anybody who wants to come up and talk about it. I'm here. I'm here to open. As the song goes, with arms wide open.
With arms wide open.
Okay.
Lori
Hello,
should
Lori.
come up. Okay, listen. I should let everybody know that I am just barely acquainted with Ruski over the last couple weeks, and when he came to my channel, he was never speaking of anybody in a derogatory fashion. We always had fun. We laughed. We talked about things. I know minimal about Ruski, but when he did come up on my panel, he was always, charming and fun, and there was no derogatory discontent amongst anybody. This recent batch of shit, I'm not even involved in. I don't know what's going on. I
Yeah, me
honestly
neither.
don't.
Well, I'd like to say thank you for having me up on your panel. It's nice to meet you, and Shannon, you too.
Well, it's a
Thank you.
pleasure.
Two
Pleasure.
things. One, I'm a vet. AD's a vet. My husband, Triple T, he is one of the most highly decorated vets in our
Well, God bless
platform.
you and your service from your family. We
4
appreciate
Purple
you.
Hearts, Bronze Star, our Come with Valor. Books, New York Times articles. He's a true hero.
Wow.
So,
Thank you. Thank you for
so
your
I,
service.
I have nothing but sympathy for your dead friend and this fake vet. His name should be put out there. But on the Ruski situation, let me tell you a little something. I've never talked about this man. He wanted an interview with my husband to get his profile up. Then somebody slipped him mine and my husband's phone number. He went on to Books and gave him my husband's information and tried to barter my information to give out my stuff to have people come at me and my husband because of an interview that he
Wow.
wanted. So he is a snake. He put up another woman's child and put her linked to a porn site trying to get her gangbanged with this young underage minor's child because he was mad at the mother.
Wow.
So
Wow.
he is as bad as what you've heard. And I've kept him out of my mouth. He even told people that he would F me. And I don't even know this man.
Is this true, Ruski?
Oh, he knows it is.
What do you have to say about this? Because I know you're listening.
I was shocked he didn't put my name in the private chat when he told you two that he had something to put. It's awful funny. When I came in, he said he needed to talk to you guys in the private chat, and then he bounced when we asked for the link.
Yeah, he was just letting us know that we were being stream sniped.
I'll be fair. I'll be fair and say I removed him and took him off the stage because he kept writing in the private chat that you guys were bad, and I was like, you know what? One thing I'm not gonna do, and like I told him, I'm not gonna write people off just because people tell me something. So if somebody tells me, oh, this person's bad, I'm not gonna write anybody off. I'm gonna listen to their story. Now I gave him ample opportunity to say his side of the story, and I told him, dude, go ahead and say what you need to say about it. And he said, no. He said, no, I don't want to talk about it. I said, fine.
I have a video I could give you to play right now to show you where he tried to bribe, or he says, I'll give you her number, but I want something in return. He was trying to barter to give away people's information that has never done nothing to him.
Is that true, Risky?
Well,
I'm
got
the video.
I want to know if it's true. I want him to answer. I think if it, not that I don't believe you, obviously, but I found the same thing as Jerry. I don't really listen to what anybody says on the internet. I try to take people one-on-one. And, I'm sure if you are telling the truth, darling, you have no reason to not back up what you're saying. So if this is being said about him and it's not true and he wants to defend himself, he should get up here.
Can I let you listen to something real quick?
Sure. Well, I don't care. It's Jerry's stream. It's up to him.
Yeah, no, yeah. I was gonna say, go ahead and if you want to share something.
What you want, bitch? Yeah. You trying to pour a bomb or something, bitch, nigga? Look at I call it dumbass like.
Smoking a cigarette. I didn't think you were gonna let me on. Hold on, man. Let me put the cigarette out.
You trying to pour a bomb me, Ruru?
Smoking a cigarette, man.
Smoking a menthol cigarette, Ruru. You just trying to be relatable to black folk. Look at you, you bastard. Look at you. Look at you.
Damn, bro. I didn't think. All right. I thought I had time. My bad, man. I'll smoke this bowl too.
You feel smoke that rabbit food?
How you been?
What you mean, Aaron? You das Andrea children, nigga.
It ain't what you think it is. Eating lies, getting fed lies. You believe what you want. I'm gonna smoke this bowl.
So I'm a liar?
No, you're being fed misinformation.
Tell me I'm a liar.
Smoking a bowl.
You doxed the children. You can't say I'm lying. Then you must be guilty of said accusation.
First of all, it ain't no one's goddamn business. That's one. That's the first fucking part.
You better our business when you put a titty on your profile, bitch.
Hey, it ain't no one's business.
It's our business.
Nope.
Y'all know that you're a little crazy, Ruru, but you didn't have to do it like that.
I ain't talking about it. How was that? You can talk.
I know.
I'll just
because you're embarrassed of your actions instead of being a man.
I'm gonna do it again. Actually, if I see her now, I'm gonna.
Why don't you dodge Triple T? He was the one that tried to make you look like.
Actually, I just got his phone number. Someone gave me his phone number. Someone doxed him.
Put it in the chat room.
All right. You want Triple T's number?
That's my husband.
Right there.
Oh, you gotta do me a favor though. I'll give you the number.
I ain't doing you shit. I ain't doing you a damn thing. You want to give me Triple T number or you don't? Hardball.
I'll give you the number. I'm glad. I got two numbers actually. I got two numbers for him. I got two numbers.
Second number's mine.
You want the numbers? I'll get you your IG. I'm a man of my word. Right. Haven't I ever not lied to you? I've never lied to you. So.
I was gonna call the number right now, but send them on IG, Bruce. You're a man of your word. I never seen a man lie or cry until I seen a man die.
I said I stipulation. I meant what I said. I'll give it to you for something. I ain't giving it to you for free.
Damn if you meant what you said. I hope you follow through.
Don't worry, won't be money.
Doing it don't mean shit. Doing it means something.
There's more, but I'm not going to tell you. But you heard that he wants something in return in order to dox people. So that was his voice. There's no denying that he did that.
No, I mean, he was definitely bartering for information. That is true.
So,
but the context of the whole conversation of what's been going on between him and this person that got their children doxxed or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about these situations, like, at all. Like, as a outsider looking in, like I said, I don't deal with doxing. That's not my thing. And I just don't see where to me, you're like beyond triggered if you're hitting that low. You know what I mean? It's the internet. People need to calm down, seriously. And like, if Ruski feels like he's being spoken of poorly here, then he needs to get up here and defend himself, or he needs to just accept the fact that he's exchanging people's personal information, and that's not cool at all.
He wanted an interview with my husband, And he got up there, and he had a softball interview with a female, and she was asking him they had already pre-planned what he would answer. Well, Tim told him, when you come up, if you want this interview, I'm going to ask you my own questions. And he said the interview was over. He thanked him. He left. My husband opened the panel. He came back and been like, oh, kick people off your panel and we'll continue. No, you left. It was over. And then he threw a temper tantrum because there were hard questions asked. Like, why would you put a minor child? And then he put phone numbers all up that, I mean, after the interview, he went after another woman to Andrea,
I
against Andrea.
absolutely 250 fucking percent, 300 billion percent am against doxing. I don't care what your reason is.
Now, this guy, this fake veteran, Yuri, is that how you say your name, Yuri?
Thanks, team.
It's Jerry, but Yuri's
It's Jerry.
Okay. I was saying, yeah, that's bullshit, because we have a lot of veterans in the community, and for him to get another veteran, did you say he got him killed? And he's
no. If I may, and this is great. This is great. Honestly, this is great for me. I'm okay. Again, the whole beef between y'all and Brewski, that's something that has nothing to do with what this stream was supposed to be about. But I understand Brewski came in and he's polarizing, just like a lot of people are in certain communities. So I'm willing to listen if you guys are willing to listen to me. And now I want you guys to listen to me, because if you guys saw the live that I did with Brewski earlier, I put a video up that was very informative from a guy called Dickbag Patrol. But I also follow somebody called Shiz and Shiz Happens. And Shiz Happens and the Stone Vet are two people who are going up against this guy who is the only suspect in the murder of Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. He was murdered on Christmas Day for his PS3 and his guns by Michael Kiser. And Michael Kiser is a stolen valor piece of shit who didn't even pass basic training twice. So I'm trying to get people to see and understand this story, not only from the side of Donald Atwater Cameron Jr., which he was a veteran, he was a combat vet, and if you guys follow the channel Shiz Happens, and Danny, if you're out there, please put Shiz's link out there. I put it on the other live that I did earlier, but see, I kind of predicted people were kind of gonna be against Ruski and all that stuff. So I was like, let me try to do another live where I can get informative. Now, like I said, I didn't have all the information on Ruski. I didn't. And so I didn't want to really push the narrative if he wasn't going to talk about it. Now, I did understand that there was people who were against him, and I wanted to see who was going to come. So I allowed him to share space with me. I'm not liking everything that I'm hearing, and I really did give him an opportunity to open up about it. I really did. I mean, I gave him a chance, and he said, no, I don't want to talk about it. He said, no. And I said, fine.
Well, here's the thing. For me personally, when people exit the troll community, they have some residual shit that follows them. And this I understand. And I understand trying to leave these communities and trying to do better for yourself. And that's what I believe Drewski was doing when he came to my channel. He basically did inform me that he was coming from a heavily trolling community and that he had made some waves amongst it, and that he was trying to leave that community and start anew and try to do something more positive with his life. And I believe all humans are fallible and that you can redirect yourself if you find flaws in your ways. So for that matter, I didn't ask a whole lot about what happened previous to what happened before he met me, because I was trying to take him at face value, because I think everybody deserves an opportunity to reinvent themselves if they find flaws in who they are. That's
Absolutely.
the whole part of being human, right?
Absolutely.
So, but just a few days ago, he runs this 12-hour stream doxing Andrea. So you have to look too at the reality of what people are doing to change, okay? Because words mean nothing in this arena. People say shit all the fucking time and they don't mean it. And it's not true and it's a lie. So actions speak louder than words. If Ruski is really trying to turn over a new leaf, and he does want these new communities to embrace him as a friend and treat him like an individual, then he can't continue to dox people because
Yeah,
he's really
exactly.
not sorry and he's really not trying to atone for his actions.
It's hard when you're on
It's
meth, though. You know what I mean? Sorry
Oh
to
boy.
interrupt, but hey, Jerry, hey, Shannon.
Hey,
Hey,
anonymous dude, and I like I said again, I appreciate more eyes coming to the story of Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. I feel like I need to apologize to the people who take the Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. stuff seriously, because I feel like this kind of went sideways when really this should have been about him. Again, I'll do all the pertinent changes to make it, make it so that this stream, it doesn't reflect that. But again, I'm really more happy with the eyes that are coming on. And to Ruski, I say, I gave you the opportunity, but I gave you the opportunity. And this is why I asked you to do so. And I always ask the people who come on, say your piece now, because when things come out later, it's going to be difficult to walk them back. And all
well,
this stuff that's.
Jerry,
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. You have another stolen valor guy in your chat, Snaggy Harpua. He once said that he was a certain rank and he wasn't. He said that he was on combat missions and all he was guard duty. And he went to Iraq, but all he was a mechanic, on armament commanding. He did the good stuff on fixed wings airplanes, but he did guard duty only, never fired his weapon. But he
Wow.
attacks other veterans in the community because his jealousy. So you do have a stolen valor one in your chat yourself. If you read your chat, you will see everybody letting you know.
I see that. Yeah, I do see that. And Staggy, I would say this is not the place to be if you are stolen valor. I am very passionate about it, and also there is a person in my community called Stone Vet who is a great guy who will suss that stuff out. I'll be more than happy to put that channel out for him to check out, and he will suss that out. Also, MSG retired, another great vet who will suss that stuff out for me. I don't necessarily do the investigations, but I have promised to get a new chew toy for my friends if they need one. So if you want to continue doing your stolen valor, by all means, Snuggy, keep doing it, and I'll get some veterans out here. Shiz, and everybody, so that everybody knows, when it comes to the Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. information, Shiz is the one who's leading the charge against him, on that information. So if you need any info as far as the life of Donald Atwater Cameron Jr., go to Shiz. Shiz Happens is her channel. We put it in the side chat several times. By all means, sub to her. She got all the information on this. I wanted this to be an informative live about Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. Since this is the anniversary of his death. I was just informed of this, and I wanted to bring out more information on him. But if this is going sideways and you guys really want to learn more about him and his life, Shiz is bringing up all the information, and by all means, sub. Please.
Is there a website? I mean, a link that you could drop in the chat for people?
Again, one more time, mods. Could you guys please put Shiz's channel one more time so everybody can sub? They put it up a couple of times, and if you go to my live that I did just a few hours ago, the link will be right there for you guys. You guys can go ahead and click on it, sub to it. I could show you guys the video again if you guys would like. If that's not a big deal for you, I could show the video to them. I don't mind. You did a lovely job with that video, and I like sharing it because it gives pretty much all the pertinent information that people should have. So if you don't mind, I'd like to share your video again, but I'll wait for you to answer me. I don't want to do it if you want people just to go to your live and go to your channel and see it, because Shiz did a great video on it. It's only 10 minutes. It's not long at all, and it got all the information you need to know about Michael Kiser, about Donald Atwater Cameron Jr., and all the stuff that happened. Now she's gonna do more on Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. because he had a life, and obviously he was a special person to many people, and he should be celebrated.
Did
for the
you
man.
turn in your stolen valor to Don Shipley? He is a big YouTuber who's an ex-soldier who goes after stolen valor.
Yes. There is another channel that is going after Kaiser. Is his name is Tats or Troll Auditing the Trolls.
Okay.
He has actually reached out to Don Shipley and has actually spoken to Don Shipley's wife about this case. But what she told him was that he's very busy with other situations, and she told him that basically she smells shit when it comes to Kaiser. And if Tats was here, he'll tell you the story. It's if you that's another channel too that's going after Kaiser. That's very informative about this information. He's a former med. He's a former combat medic,
All
and
right.
great guy. If you guys could drop his link as well, great guy. He does good stuff. He makes animations and all kinds of stuff going after Kaiser. But yeah, I like I said, I hang on one second. Sorry about that. And my everything's going crazy right now. My messages and everything is going nuts right now. So just give me one second. Oh, okay. So I guess this is okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and share that video with you guys. If everybody could just like give me 1 second, I'm gonna share Shiz's video so that you guys can see what we're talking about. Now, please, by all means, just talk amongst yourselves. Give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and put it up. I'll definitely get this up here right now.
Hey, AD.
How you doing, Lori?
Pretty good. But he's another one that has a lot of information for you, Jerry. He's a veteran too, and
That's awesome. I actually want to change my channel to kind of like a Stolen Valor looking like type of channel. You know what I mean? Because I want to find new chew toys for my friend Stone Vet and MSG Retired.
Can I give you some professional advice?
Give it to me.
All right. So if you want to get more audience to get attention
Right.
for this stuff, you need to keep the videos under 3 minutes because nobody has an attention span these days. And you have to keep them under 3 minutes and then link them to a longer video that's like a tribute for people that want to go further, but you need to just grab pertinent information. That way it'll get shared throughout more channels and you'll get more views. And you got to make sure that your hashtags include the right hashtags to bind you to other stolen valor situations. That way you can collect onto groups. 10 minutes is too long unless somebody is invested in that person individually. You have to find a way to edit it in a way that's sensationalized with under 3 minutes. And the shorts get more views and exposure to other linked videos. That's how you
I,
do it
I,
these days.
I appreciate, yeah, and I absolutely get that the attention span is getting lowered as far as like younger people are concerned. But I think in this issue, I think that
No, I'm
yeah,
saying keep the longer videos, but if you want to get the exposure, you need to do shorts that are basically like commercials for your longer videos. Do you
I
understand?
see, I see. Yes, I see what you're
That way
saying.
you get more word of mouth out to go look at the
Well,
videos in the longer terms. So you
well,
have to
to
have
be,
like a basically an advertisement for your video
I hear you.
to get people interested,
I hear you. Well, and to be fair, this video is not mine. This video is
right?
not my work. This video is Shiz, and Shiz happens, and this will be on Shiz's live for everybody to know.
Yeah, but you
This
can
is
do
not,
a short and say, look, I found this video on this particular soldier and you guys should go check it out. And it'd be like less than 3 minutes. And then they could just keep reposting it, reposting it, reposting it. And then that video will get more leg room on it. And plus, you need to use the right hashtags in the shorts too, like his name, stolen valor, murder, things like that. And people, it'll come up more often. And then people will go watch the video.
I
You'll
hear
get
you,
more
Shannon. Thank you.
exposure.
Thank you. And so for now, for the people that are here, this is a 10-minute video. It's not that long, but it has all the information that you need to know about the murder of Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. So 10 minutes. Here we go.
For many, YouTube serves as an escape from the darkness of reality. Yet sometimes YouTube unwittingly exposes people's degeneracy. One YouTube creator's shadowy secrets recently unraveled right before our very eyes. This is the story of Michael Kiser, also known as Fraud Wrangler. Fraud Wrangler entered the YouTube anti-auditor scene earlier this year, appearing on open panels and often discussing his military service.
I mean, I'm fourth straight generation U.S. military, and I love this country, and I love what our country stands for, because we are a nation of laws. You know, I never had a problem telling everybody on a chat, you know, in a live, that I have PTSD. I have been injured. I've had 9 surgeries, 2 gunshot wounds, and I still have frag next to my spine. And all of that was pretty much pale in comparison to what was going on in my head. I had several guys over the years that were from Alabama that, you know, were assigned under me. And I'm going to tell you what, they were some of the best damn soldiers I've ever commanded.
Where did you get your law degree, bud?
University of Texas.
Yeah, I doubt that.
Really?
I doubt that.
Because what started off getting my blood pressure and my PTSD going was I've been shot twice. I've got some frag in my back, and I've had 9 goddamn surgeries. And
dickhead, I didn't retire. I was medically boarded out after enough to earn myself 2 Purple Hearts and 3 tours. So.
What makes you think you have the right to question me about my service when you didn't serve? I didn't serve for you. I served for me, my family, and my flag.
He soon
Amen.
became a friend to many and carried on the image of being a wholesome good guy, often discussing being a military veteran and sharing stories of his now seemingly fictitious child.
To fire the gentleman in me up, and it reminds me that I have a daughter.
After a fleeting taste of minor YouTube success, his lives began to crumble around him, possibly resembling the closest thing to a war zone that man has ever seen. Channels such as Master Sergeant Retired and Stone Vet began exposing that the military stories Fraud Wrangler had used to gain the respect of his following were a lie. According to military documents obtained by Master Sergeant Retired, it appears Michael Kiser had been medicaled out before ever completing boot camp.
So through another Freedom of Information Act request to the National Guard, they actually provided me a copy of his U.S. Army Reserve DD-214, and I have that here. He had a total period of service, or a net active service this period, 1 month and 5 days.
Well, the record in ATARS is actually very specific, and it says that Wrangler did not graduate basic training twice. He got pushed out for medical reasons.
Among an onslaught of criticisms of his now debunked war stories, people began addressing his unsubstantiated claims of donating the money he was making from his YouTube channel to veterans charities.
Anything that I get from you all is going to go to something very, very worthy. Like it'll be veteran related charity.
He did not handle the criticism well, making statements that directly went against his prior claims while lashing out at quote-unquote haters and blaming others for his sketchy past and present behavior being exposed.
And again, I don't have a Purple Heart.
I was medically boarded out after enough to earn myself 2 Purple Hearts and 3 tours. So
Okay, well, I doubt that you've ever gotten laid by something that didn't involve a date rape joke, but that's not the point. The haters won't let me. I don't know why they're getting so pissed off.
because we are a nation of laws.
While dealing with the backlash, Kiser had another obstacle to overcome. His criminal history had piqued my interest. Kiser's criminal history outlines over a decade of burglaries and thefts in typical pillbilly fashion. His litany of arrests includes 5 open cases relating to the burglary of his place of employment in 2022. Well, former place of employment now. His record reveals an exorbitant level of entitlement to other people's property and apparently a lack of care or concern for other people's lives.
I won't tell you all of you. I've been shot at. I've been shot. I've returned fire. I've killed.
Michael Kiser, or Fraud at Wrangler, remains to this day the only suspect in the senseless and tragic murder of Donald Cameron Jr.
Just know the murder case is not going to paint me in a very pretty light. It's not. That murder case did not paint me in a very pretty light. It didn't, in any regard. Whether it's true or not is irrelevant. Whether it's true or not is irrelevant. Whether it's true or not is irrelevant.
Donald Cameron was a dad, a son, a brother, and a friend to many. In his free time, he loved going out on his pontoon boat and riding his motorcycle with the Patriot Guard riders. Donald Cameron Jr. served his country for 4 years with the Marine Corps before medically retiring due to a diagnosis of Rider's syndrome. His condition required multiple surgeries on his feet and left him mobility impaired. The Cameron family alerted police after Donald had failed to call or arrive for the family's Christmas gathering. His body was discovered in his Ohatchee, Alabama home on December 26, 2009. He was shot execution style in his living room. While Donald laid lifeless on the floor, his soulless killer, utilizing a homemade silencer, administered a second shot to the back of Donald Cameron's head. Along with his life, Donald's PlayStation 3 and firearms were also stolen. His PlayStation 3 had apparently connected to the Kiser family Wi-Fi network before Donald's body had been discovered, and was later recovered from Michael Kiser's possession. Along with the PlayStation, a book on how to make homemade silencers was seized as evidence. Michael Kiser was eventually charged with capital murder in the death of Mr. Cameron. Court documents from the case reveal that Kiser had a history of stealing firearms. The documents also list a means of disposal, which was described to the victim's family at the time as him selling the pilfered firearms to area pawn shops. The case sadly was dismissed prior to trial due to an error in wording on the indictment, which is outlined in the state's motion to reconsider dismissal with prejudice, a motion that was granted. "23 words stalled the ability for justice to be served for Donald Cameron. Due to the case being dismissed without prejudice, there is still some glimmer of hope that justice can be served for Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. Much to the dismay of the Cameron family, Mr. Kiser is on YouTube, masquerading as Fraud at Wrangler and being blindly supported by people who have no idea just what kind of monster he really is. I hope this serves as a cautionary tale. That creator you're supporting may just be part of the evil walking among us. I am including contact information for anyone who feels compelled to voice their desire for justice in the murder of Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. Stay smart and be good.
Sorry, I paused that early, Shiz. But that is the video. That is the information. How does everybody feel about that? Just going around the room here. How do you guys feel about the story now?
I find it interesting. Like, first off, thanks for inviting me over here, man.
Okay.
I come from a pretty big community. I know quite a few true crime YouTubers as well, some big ones. We could definitely shine the light on this thing.
Thank you. That's all I'm looking for. I'm looking
Yeah,
for the light to be shined on this, just like Shiz has done great work, and I appreciate her for bringing up all of this information. All the information about his criminal history is all Shiz. So if you guys can sub to Shiz happens and have her, like talk to you guys, she has done amazing work.
yeah. The thing is though, so he was tried and he was found not
No, he
guilty.
wasn't. He was not acquitted. He was not acquitted. His charges were dismissed because of a clerical error, due to the DA, the assistant district attorney making a mistake. Now, his charges weren't dismissed with prejudice, meaning that he still can be reindicted. And as we all know, murder does not have a statute of limitations. So,
Right.
he's the only suspect, and being indicted by a grand jury means that 12 people got together and decided that it was worth charging him, for the death of Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. So even though it's kind of sticky to say, right, that he's the murderer because he's still a suspect in the case, he's the only suspect.
Are they going to refile charges? Because they can. I mean, if it was just clerical error, it should have already been refiled.
That's the question that we're that us in the community are asking, and the things that Shiz is trying to figure out. Again, that is that's something that I'm hoping that bringing attention to this case and bringing attention to the man, Kaiser, will put pressure on the DA to actually indict him again or press charges again. This is the whole thing about bringing attention to this, is that we not only want to bring attention to a veteran who was murdered in cold blood and his case is out there, like not being filed or even looked upon, but also to file against this man who is the only suspect in the case.
And he has the circumstantial evidence is right there. It's a pretty big, they're going to say circumstantial, but the evidence is pretty clear. He's got his personal property. They found the silencer book on how to, they know how he was killed, the beef on the internet. So, that's a pretty good case to take to trial. In my book, I would.
Yeah.
So in essence, even though
They're
it's
asking
shining
for
light
link-
on this
link-
young
Yeah.
man's murder, the truth is you're trying to get Ringler prosecuted for the murder of this man.
There you go, Shiz. There you go, Shiz. And I
Danny,
apologize.
he's just trying to engage you. Trust me. It's better if you just ignore him.
Who?
I wanna say too, you're about to get an influx. So can I talk just a second about our community? I know it's about this, but if you're not familiar, are you familiar with our community? At all?
No, I'm not
Jerry
familiar with
or
it. I'm not
Shannon?
familiar. I'm sorry. I'm not familiar with it. No.
I am familiar with the true crime community. I don't participate there, but I am familiar with the community. I have heard of it before. Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm not true crime.
No, me neither.
So our community is basically like music. What would you say, Lori? Music, military, some trolling, some.
Yeah, it's a combination. Somehow it used to be music, and then it kind of submerged into, you got your friendly trolls, and then music, and a lot of vets.
Yeah. Welcome to YouTube.
Yeah.
So again, I want to reiterate: no one needs to contact the prosecutor at this point. It is being handled. There was a little more going on at the time, so it was dismissed because of the wording in the indictment. But also from people in the area and people connected to the courts at that time. The judge had a mistress. Someone involved in the case knew about the mistress. The judge said he did not want to see that case go to trial. But the good thing is that judge is not sitting anymore. He's gone after much disgrace, and like I said, it's actively being investigated. Again, Michael Kaiser remains the only suspect in this case, and I think we're going to see some movement in the spring of 2024.
Can I ask you a question, Shiz? How did they just meet by random being on the internet like we all do, and it turned into a personal, real life beef, or did they know
No,
each other in
no,
real
not at
life
all.
first?
Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. retired to Ohatchee. He lived on a lake there, right next to Kaiser's godfather. So that's how they met.
Oh, okay.
And Shiz, let me apologize if I said anything. That was I did not know that part of the context. And
Yeah, so from what I'm hearing, the Attorney General's office didn't feel comfortable immediately refiling because the judge made it clear that if that went to court, he was going to defer to judgment and he was going to throw it out and they wouldn't get to try him again. From what I heard, Tarnisha, who was the AG, assistant AG at the time, felt very bullied into dropping this and didn't know what to do.
Okay.
But now that that judge is no longer sitting, things have changed in that regard.
And
So
this
just
is
by
why.
coincidence, him moving to where he moved, he just ended up with the wrong neighbor who had a family member that the beef on the internet, and it just kind of spiraled out of.
It has nothing to do with a beef on the internet at all.
No.
Absolutely zero.
It actually, this is just a man who's a terrible person who, after committing all these crimes, came onto the internet as pretending to be something that he's not, and then tricking a bunch of people into believing that. And now he's got a community behind him based off this. So
He
we've been
literally
trying.
got away with murder and then had the audacity to show up on the internet pretending to be someone else. I just did a live where we put out the messages where he was saying that Michael Kaiser was his dead war buddy. And
And
that
he's
wasn't
Michael
his
Kaiser.
name. And he's Michael Kaiser. It's not his war buddy. He never went to war. He didn't make it past basic training.
Yes. Like I said, the information is out there. You could sub to Shiz.
It's a lot.
You could sub to Stone Vet, which is somebody who goes after him. He stream snipes him. He's always debunking him as he's talking. And then you got Master Sergeant Retired, who's got all the paperwork, his DD-214. He shows the information as far as like his record in the military. His DD-214 shows that he dropped out of basic training twice. And he claims to be a military veteran and collecting donations
Well,
for
so from
VA.
what I've ascertained, so
That's a
his
problem.
military stuff did come up in some of the criminal investigations, especially the Afghanistan report where he shot himself and tried to blame a black man for it. A lot of his military stuff got called into question. And so from what I've ascertained, his first medical out was because he got stung by a bee, had a bee allergy. You don't meet the medical fitness for the military if you're allergic and require an EpiPen. And then his father got him a waiver for the second time, and he medicaled out on shin splints, claiming he had to have surgery on the leg, which from everyone I spoke to connected to that investigation said that it didn't seem medically necessary for him to get surgery on that hairline fracture.
No, shin splints, all they would do is put a wet cast on and he'd be in it for a week or two
No,
and he'd be
he
able
made
to.
them put in a plate and 9 screws. They doctor shopped,
Wow.
supposedly. From what I heard in people in the area, they doctor shopped until they found someone to operate on it so he could medical out and get a percentage. And then he later, I just went over the report on my last live, he later apparently tried to claim his PTSD from the military was from being sexually harassed at basic training. And when the investigators read that to him, he immediately said that's not true. And they were like, well, then why were you saying that, Michael?
So is he on disability?
He gets a 40% as far as I know. That may be subject to change in the near future, Mr. Kaiser.
Yeah.
Hey,
So do
Shiz,
you
can
have
I
his?
ask you something? How did you come across this guy Wrangler?
He
Who,
came
me
to
or
me.
Shiz?
He
Shiz, I'm asking her, like, how did you stumble across this guy and find out about his story? Like,
Well, so he came to me over Reaper, who was married to a murderer. She was lying about the murder. I pulled records on it, all that. So he came to me to narc her out about the murder connected to her and then befriended me. And then as his stuff started coming out, he kept lying to me about things. And I one of the last conversations I had with him, I told him, I said, I'm pulling everything. And he said, go ahead. There's nothing to hide. He said, no one can get the records. And I'm the wrong person to say that to. Because if no one can get those records, then call me no one, bitch, because I'm going to get them. Right. I got his handwritten confession for the Afghanistan report.
Did you get his medical records?
No, so you can't get his medical records.
Medical records are you cannot get. You cannot have access to any medical records, but you can get
police investigation. You can get redacted.
those are public. Anything that is documented into any kind of police investigations are public record. All you have to do is request them from the county that they're from.
Well, I mean, it's a little harder than that, but yes, you have to get authorization from either the chief or the county attorney to get redacted copies. It takes a while. I first put in for these records.
Well,
in
redacted
August.
copies are harder to get, but
Well, I'm confused
the
because
online stuff is easy to find.
I'm confused.
Well, no,
'cause-
redacted copies are because they do have to redact certain information, especially if it pertains to medical situations.
Well,
I'm sorry, what are you confused about?
Well, if he didn't graduate basic training, he can't be on disability.
He can. So the hairline fracture he had surgery on, he claimed was exacerbated by his, what was it, month and 5 days in basic training?
He can AD.
So that's how.
There's, as long as he signed
And
that
he didn't
paper,
even. So he's saying he got hurt in basic training, then med boarded out.
No, that's not what he said to start off.
Oh.
No, he went into basic training with a condition known as shin splints, and then claimed that a hairline fracture he had was due to basic training. That's how he was able to get a rating. At one point during the Donald Atwater Cameron investigation, they found out that Mr. Kiser was still claiming a married rate, even though he was divorced. And investigators kindly informed the VA of this, and they bumped it back down, which would have been 2011, around the date on the letter he showed.
Yeah, but he would have had to been med boarded, right?
Yeah, he was med boarded, but he never went to combat. He basically dropped out of basic training, and so that's the thing is that he can.
But he would have. So here's what would have happened. I'll just explain. Here's what would have happened if he got hurt in basic training.
Well, I mean, Master Sergeant went over the documents. Stone Vet went over it as well. It was his second bout. He had gotten a waiver for the bee allergy. In his second bout, he claimed that a hairline fracture on, I think it was his tibia, was due to basic training, and he medicaled out to have surgery.
Right. So he would have been put right into a med board like type unit. They're basically referred to as broke dick units. No offense to anybody that's been.
Oh no, he left.
No offense taken.
Yeah, but no, some people are actually like hurt from combat or training or so it's just a term.
It's fine.
He would have been put in that, and then he would have been med boarded out. So essentially what you're saying is he tried basic, got shin splints, and then got a hairline fracture, and then he would have been recycled because then he would have had to wait for the next cycle to happen.
Oh, no. So it seems after his surgery, any involvement with his service was over.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm just saying, so then he tried again basic training, he got stung by a fucking bee.
No, the bee was the first time.
Oh, yeah.
You're in reverse, Anonymous. Reverse.
Okay, I got you. Okay, I'm just trying to put it together, like what the fuck happened.
Email, I have the military documents that Master Sergeant got. I can send them to you. It would probably, I don't know much about the military. I can only go off of what I remember military people saying about it. But I can send you the documents. It might be easier for you to.
Oh, there's people that know way more, like
Yeah,
Lori's
I could
husband.
tell you, an anonymous dude is kind of correct. If you get hurt in basic training, let's say the bee sting, they would have recycled him. He would have been put in what we call the loser platoon as they recovered. And then and what happens is then they would recycle and try again with a waiver. They have to go through the process at the doctors and whatever to get recycled. And then they'd be put in a new unit. And at that point, it sounds like he used his shin splint to get out or to get a medical board to get a percentage. And unfortunately, if they did
and then worth noting that years later, he went to the VA and tried to claim he had PTSD from sexual harassment in boot camp to bump it up to 100%. It seems Mr. Kiser tried several times to come up with things that would give him 100% rating, which fell flat every time.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's it seems common more that I'm on the internet. Like, it's crazy. But
can you imagine the audacity of getting away with murder and then coming onto YouTube? Like, what is wrong? And befriending me? I used to be a reporter that specialized in murder cases. Why would you seek out to befriend me, Mr. Murderer? Like, oh my God.
Now, Shiz, here's something you might not know. That his 40%, he gets to keep that. Now, if he's convicted of a felony, he loses all veterans benefits.
Well,
Any
no. So
veteran
he has been
committed.
convicted of. He's been convicted of numerous felonies. I think what's going to catch him up now, is he did jail time more than 30 days, and we're not sure the VA was notified. So if after the fact the VA gets proof that he was in
Oh,
for
that's
over a
right.
year, they would stop his benefits and he would have to pay them back.
Yeah.
I hope so.
So,
Yeah,
like,
that is the
Does he have
rule.
felonies?
I'm
He has
thoroughly
5 felonies.
I'm confused
How does
about
he
this.
still have his fucking benefits?
Because
Felonies
he
are
hasn't been
supposed.
reported, it seems like.
No, so the military dudes have reached out to the military, but because he took these plea deals that he took, it's not, he wasn't convicted by a jury. He took plea deals. So for
But
some reason, he's kept his benefits.
But he's
It's
still.
possible that they were expunged later or something. I mean, I'm
It
just
was probably like a quaff deal around here.
right.
They
Yeah.
do what's called a continued without finding.
Oh my god! If our community wanted, they could open this motherfucker
But
like a
but
tin can.
that's the this is where I'm getting confused. Okay, so there's somebody in there saying that they have the wrong DD 214, that they're reading the wrong DD 214, and that's not what happened with this guy. Then I have anonymous dude here, which it seems cool as fuck, but I don't think he's involved in any of this anymore. He's here because of the Ruski situation.
Wrong.
And Lori is also here for the Ruski situation.
Wrong.
But
We're veterans. Like I'm. No, that's wrong. I'm sorry.
and then
I don't care about Ruski. He's a
like
weirdo.
I thought that this was about the guy who died, but it's really about exposing Wrangler for
Donald Atwater
murder,
Cameron
right?
Jr. No, I mean everyone should be
I mean,
conscious
we
and
want
remember Donald Atwater
the
Cameron.
end game is
Hang on,
to get
Shannon.
this guy off the internet because he's a murderer and he murdered a veteran. I mean
Shannon.
No, that's not it. Like
Yeah.
at all in the slightest.
Yeah. Go ahead, Shiz. Go ahead. Say what you were gonna say.
At the end of the day, everyone should keep Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. in mind. He is not here today to watch his grandchild grow because of Michael Kiser. Getting him off the internet, whatever, I don't give a fuck. I hope he stays on the internet so that when this all comes down, we get to watch him implode. That would be very entertaining to my
I'm
dark
just
little
trying to figure out what you guys are, what the end game is. Like, what I'm trying to help focus the situation to where you want it to be appropriated. Earlier I said something about getting the attention, more exposure, with 3-minute videos to attach to the longer ones, that everybody's like, I don't give a shit about the views, but why make a 10-minute
Well, I mean,
video?
at the end of the day, this is
Why
already
make a
being handled
10-minute
in.
video to not
Okay.
have it viewed? Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, what
Well, I mean,
what
it
is
has
the
almost as many
focus?
views as
What
it
is
plays.
the focus you
One
want
at a time, please.
paid to this, and how can we
Well,
go
so
about
at the
doing
end of the
that in the most
day,
effective way?
what matters most to me is him getting charged in relation to this murder. That is already in motion. Nobody needs to do anything with that. That's been handled by Wally, myself, and a shit ton of investigators in Alabama. Right now, people should just be saying his name, Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. This man should be alive today, but is not because of Mr. Kiser. And people need to be aware of that. That's it.
Do you have a link to his channel?
To who? To Fraud Wrangler?
The fucking killer.
Yeah, that's
Wrangler.
his name, Fraud Wrangler. Now, I will if you want me to. Yeah, sure. Mods, if you guys could link Fraud Wrangler's channel for AD here, that'd be great. This is all for me. For me, it's all about bringing attention to both situations. Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. was an actual military vet that Kiser wishes he was. He really wishes that he was that guy. That's why he told the stories that he did. I believe it's his way. It's his way of trying to I don't know, make some sort of thought that he's gonna somehow connect with the man. I don't know. I just think it's disgusting that he comes in here talking about he's a military vet or whatever, disabled military vet, when he's the only suspect in the murder of an actual military vet, a disabled military vet at that. So, I think they both go hand in hand. Now, that's just my opinion on it. I know Shiz is doing her own thing on it, and I appreciate her with all the information she's brought up, everything that she's talked about. Her motives are her own when it comes to this, and I I don't put any, you know, she
Well, I
basically
mean, the last thing I want is for more people to keep reaching out while they have already started investigating and
right.
just muddying the waters. I want the investigators focused on what they're doing right now, so that Mr. Kaiser is charged. And I mean, I think I think there's a really good shot here.
See,
I
here's
hope,
And there's
it
only
is.
one shot. They have one chance to go at him with this. Well, forensic technology has changed a lot since 2009. And I think
Right.
that's going to catch up to Mr. Kaiser. But that also takes 6 to 8 weeks, sometimes longer. But again, I've been told spring of 2024, there should be some good news.
Yeah, and we should all be happy for that. I think like I've said before, look at cases like Daryl Brooks. Look at cold cases that have gone 20 to 30 years long and they finally figure out who it is. You know, like these things take time. The wheel of justice turns slowly, and patience is a virtue. You have to have patience in these things. So again, this is all about bringing awareness to it. I'm not asking anybody to brigade or to do anything that's gonna hurt the case, you know, in that aspect. But by all means, if you want to troll Kaiser, fuck him.
Well, and I mean, keeping in mind that like he's on YouTube to the point the family's scared to go on YouTube because they're scared they'll see him. It really bothers them that there are people that just blindly support this man on the internet. And I think that's something that we as humans should be seeing that behavior and being like, nay, nay, we're not gonna fucking do this, you know?
I think we should be also. I'm glad because even if I did come over here with Ruski and to find out about this stolen valor, it needs to be concentrated on that Donald was a hero, and no matter what,
Yes.
uh, he was taken out by a coward. But let's take the coward out of it and concentrate that we have another veteran who is gone, who did
Right.
not deserve to be gone and is, and his life mattered and he mattered. And for that alone, I'll give my respect and my props to him.
Yes.
Hell yeah. And
And
by all accounts, everyone I've spoken to, Donald was a great man. He tried to help people out when he could. He was a hugger. Anyone he saw, I'd give him a hug. Um, I have yet to find anyone that had anything negative to say about Donald. Conversely, I have never found anyone that has said anything positive about Michael Kaiser. Not one person.
yeah, and I would ask that if you are, you know, like I put Fraud Wrangler for you, AD, on the private chat. I put his link there, and the link is in the side chat. But I would ask that you like look into him a little bit more before you go over there or whatever you're gonna do. I really don't wish to promote him. I don't want people like
No.
I don't want any validation.
And it's also worth note he had about 940 something videos that he had up. And the day after they assigned another investigator to the case, all those lives were deleted. But luckily, I always make sure that every live stream is scraped into a Dropbox in case the person deletes it. So if anyone needs those videos, they are out there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes,
You have 900 lives saved of him.
Yes.
No.
Those are the ones he deleted.
Those are
So
the ones
far, the
that he
Dropbox
deleted.
has like 1,200, I think, videos and lives, just
I
for
got
prosperity. As soon as the investigators started looking into it actively again, he deleted all his old lives. That tells me there's something in there he wants to hide. So hell yeah, I'm so glad I have those.
yeah, and you know, I got a live. If you go to my lives and go back like 9 months, it's probably like the second live I ever posted. Right there, he talks a whole bunch of bullshit. Whole bunch of bullshit. He talks about how he got hit in a Humvee with a RPG, and that's where he broke his tibia. And he talks about how he was a sergeant and he's a drug suppression officer for the military, and he did it in Afghanistan, and he didn't pass basic training. It's hilarious the lies that he puts out in my live there. And he deleted all the other stuff that he talked about because he thought nobody was gonna be able to find his lies. Luckily, he said them first on my lives, and I was able to expose them by giving them to Stone Vet, who you guys, everybody should go sub to Stone Vet. He's been going after him now for like a few months now, and it's so much fun to do it with him. If you guys are a community of military people, you need to have him in your community. He is one of the best ones. That includes MSG Retired as well. Shiz is a true crime channel. You know, she does her thing. But these two men, MSG Retired and Stone Vet, are two of the best as far as, you know, looking for military people to suss out. I see that Shiz dropped off. Thank you so much, Shiz, for showing up and giving me all that information. It's I appreciate you for being here and all the work you've done. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I mean, we're not really into like the stolen valor busting
Yeah.
people for stolen valor and stuff. We get a lot of stolen valor that come in because Triple T, does he still do his veteran panels, Lori?
Yes, it's just with me being sick the last couple weeks, he hasn't done
Right,
it. But
right.
yeah,
So he does like veteran panels, and sometimes we get some characters up there, and they like to tell some stories, and it happens, man. It
Yeah.
happens. But this is more than just telling some stories. This
Right.
is
It's bigger than that.
Well,
possible murder.
listen, you guys got to understand a very generalized YouTube strategy when it comes to trolling. And one of the things is to collect retired military, because they're strategic and they have been trained to fight. And when you're trying to come across a gang packing troll army, the best people to have on your side are military people, because they're the ones that continue to fight, and it brings people into their chats. There's a whole sector of people that take these military people, some of them not so healthy, some of them are retired veterans that are honorable and heroes and have put in their time, and some of them have PTSD, and some of them have been dishonorably discharged, but they still have that militant mind about them to where they want to go and troll in packs, and they're the best people to get when they have these pack armies of trolling. It's a strategy. It's a trolling technique, and evoking stolen valor is one of the ways to do it. So you have to be careful not to sidestep into some shit that isn't even real to begin with. It's a fucking made up bullshit in order to get people to fucking get views. And I'm not saying that's the case with this person or the investigative reporter that was up here. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying be careful, be wary, because trolls come in all different ways, shapes, and forms. And military people are the best fucking people to put on your side when it comes to making troll armies, because they are strategic and they love to fight.
I
It's
love
part of
it.
who they are.
That's
It's what they're
funny.
trained to do.
Yeah. So, but in relation to this, like, I just mainly came over here two reasons. Mainly, I was curious about your story. The video, the other female that was up here, fuck, I forgot her name already.
Shiz.
Shiz. Great video. Great video. Great. Like, she has a good voice for this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was very informative. It was very, like, it was good. It was good. It talked about, you know, basically what this fucking dude's about. Now, I'm curious, what was on the end of that gun
Oh,
to be used as a silencer?
the homemade silencer. Yes. Apparently, he made a homemade silencer to the one that shot Daniel Atwater Cameron Jr. He shot him with it, and this is what the investigators. This is why they indicted him, because they know that he was shot with a homemade silencer. Then they find a book in Kaiser's house about making homemade silencers, and throughout the history of Wrangler being on the internet, he has called himself a gunsmith.
I bet that same silencer's in the book or in his computer.
Excuse me?
Well, listen,
The silencer
Jerry,
that was used
anonymous
is he
dude,
learned it from
Lori, everybody in chat. Thanks for having me. I've got to head out, but it was a pleasure meeting all of you, and thanks for giving me the opportunity to introduce myself to all of you. It's been a pleasure,
Yeah.
Jerry.
By the way, Shannon has a channel too. Her name is Shannon. Is my name, and you can go ahead and sub to her if you want. She has great lives. They're not about military or
Well,
it's just fun stuff. If you want
that's
to learn.
subjective, but thank you, Jerry. I appreciate that. And
Well, it's nice
everybody, it
to
was a
meet you,
pleasure
Shannon.
meeting all of you. Thank you for affording me the time and the patience to listen to my opinions. It's been a pleasure. Bye bye,
You too.
sweeties.
Bye,
Hey,
Shannon.
take it easy. Yeah, so I'm just curious by nature. And I saw you up on Rooskies talking about this story about a stolen valor dude and possible murders, and so that's why I'm here. You know,
That's cool, man.
I'm
I
pretty
appreciate
upfront,
that.
dude. Like, I'm
He
just
is.
curious, I'm just curious what was going on, and it's a crazy story, and that's
Right,
what I
it
thought it
is.
was.
It
And
sure is.
rest in peace.
Salute.
What's the guy's name that died?
Donald Atwater Cameron Jr.
Master Sergeant. Or
Donald.
no, he wasn't a Master Sergeant, was he?
No, that Master Sergeant is the man
Donald
that the
Atwater.
old man that you saw,
What?
the bald
Okay.
old man. That's and he has a channel as well. He looks up, and maybe he can hook up with your husband, Triple T, which
Yeah.
I'd love to have on the panel too. Which I'm doing several things with my channel now. I was in this auditor community thing where like people, and I realized that that's like small potatoes, and I really want to get into like looking for people who are stolen valor, looking for people who are shams out there and stuff like that. It doesn't have to necessarily be in the military, realm or whatever. But I'm starting to like expand into that, and I like MSG Retired is a great guy. If you guys want to get together, and I also want to like help people not be victims anymore to people who want to sham them, And so what I'm doing is that I'm gonna create these basic things to suss out stolen valor people, like finding out acronyms and things like that, so that people can get a quick idea of like, oh, this guy is not really what he's saying he is. Then you can pass it on to somebody like your husband or Master Sergeant Retired. This is what I want to do. I want to make people a little bit smarter on the internet, a little bit stronger on the internet, because I think there's a lot of people who are sensitive, and they're not dealing with the internet in the way they're supposed to. I think that there should be a little bit of education when it comes to that, and that's what I want to do. I want to make my channel where people can get stronger in this internet life. You know what I mean? Because this is the wave of the future. People are not going to be watching TV anymore soon. I believe things are going to be surfaced on the internet. People are going to live their public forums on the internet, and you got to have a certain decorum, a certain etiquette, and it's going to take a certain amount of education for those people so they can convey themselves here in a comfortable way.
We all want attention, right? That's why we're here.
Oh yeah, for sure. I ain't gonna lie about that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
We all want clicks and views, but what we're willing to do in terms of like morally to get there is different.
Yes.
And ultimately, if you go live enough, you end up just becoming yourself in front of God and country. Like you can't fool people.
Dude,
when you
we're
do
on
this
the
long
same
enough.
page.
You
We are
know.
on the same page. Yes, sir. Yes, we're on the same page.
Yeah, so I see it as, can I ask you a question? Like, why did you decide that you want to go after stolen valor? Like, what in you, like, why is that a passion for you?
I found a kindred spirit to people who are in the military. One, because I have family that have served. I got a lot of cousins that have served, and one is particular who is like a father figure to me. He's actually the one who told me that Frauded Wrangler, or the guy we talk about, Michael Kiser, is a piece of shit. He told me ahead of time. He told me, "Hey man, this guy's no good. Get away from him. He's a liar and all that stuff." So he's always looked out for me. That's one reason. The other reason is because I feel like there's a certain amount of emotional trauma that I share with vets, because I grew up in South Central. I've seen people die in front of me and stuff like that, and I don't want to claim that I have PTSD. I don't want to claim it, but I have broken down when telling my stories about seeing friends.
Real quick, did you serve yourself?
Never served.
Okay, so there's a picture on your page. Who's that?
That is Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. That's the
That's
guy
what
that
I
got
asked
hit.
when I came in, AD, and it
Okay,
Yeah.
said
that's what it was
that's
a
the
little
victim.
confusing
Yeah.
for me.
I get
Okay.
it. No, and I
Respect.
get it. Yeah, and I did that. I actually did that for Shiz because she put that together, and I'm trying to give credit where credit is due. Right? She's done a lot of work, and so I want people to not only see Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. and know his name, but I also want to give respect and credit where credit is due. That's why I decided to use that picture in particular. So that's why I'm doing that. But
So you're in the true crime community then, right?
I've I've I'm
Or are
dabbling in
you
everything.
dabbling?
I'm dabbling in everything. I'm not afraid to talk about any subject. I'm open to a lot of subjects because I found that a lot of people can talk to me about anything, and so I don't mind talking about anything. I actually have a live where I talked about the Gannon stock situation. Um, I don't mind talking about anything. I'm willing and ready to open to talk about anything. But this situation is big to me. Not only one because I have personal feelings towards Fraud at Wrangler or Michael Kaiser, but two, when I found out the story about Donald Atwater Cameron Jr., it really hit home. It really hit home with friends that I've lost in the military, and like I said, that spiritual connection I feel like I have to vets, where sometimes when I hear their stories, it's like it's the same stories like when I talk about my friend that got killed when I was 12. It like it feels the same. I could feel the same kind of like it's something that I don't know. I can't really explain, but when I saw Stone Vet talking about it, I've heard other vets tell their stories. It's something that just like it just connects, and
Right.
so it gives me that passion to want to fight for them as well. I've always been that way. I
Well,
don't.
I'll tell you, the veterans in the military do salute the support. It's very appreciated because there's a lot of people who have put in a lot of time. But I'll tell you, AD
Yeah,
does
thanks,
know a
man,
lot
for
of
doing that.
true, yeah, a lot of true crime. AD does have those connections that he used to, and he's the right person to help you get information out. If he's interested in a subject, I mean, he puts it all out there. He ain't afraid.
And I
Appreciate that, Lori.
and
Yeah,
and I
no
and I,
problem.
no, and I appreciate the vets. I always say thank you for your service and things like that. And I don't. I mean, it's. I'm not trying to do it to kiss ass or anything. I really do mean it when I say it because it's like
No, bro, like you found something that you found worthwhile
Passionate.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as from a vet, like I hope you fucking bust a million motherfuckers and hang their shit out there for everybody to see
thank
if
you.
they're indeed fake. I would say be careful because if you accidentally miss your target,
It can't get
like even
messy.
in this live, for instance, dude is got a surgery on a shin splint, and at first you were like, he didn't graduate, but then he graduated. It was like, you
No,
know what I
no.
mean? Like it's you have to have your facts.
I get that. No, I get that. And the only reason why I'm going off the cuff on it, is because I know that the information is out there and I can
Mm-hmm.
put the links with the right
Mm-hmm.
information. That's the only reason why I would go off the cuff. If this was
Yeah.
just me and my investigation, then I'd make sure I have the receipts on me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because
But
I
you
don't.
Right.
can't, I'll tell you this, they'll eat you alive, even if you come off the cuff and there's receipts out there, you can't go off the cuff. That I'll tell you right off the bat.
Yeah,
You can
that's
never play off the cuff. Have
never in
your
true crime,
receipts. Yeah.
especially.
Not,
Yeah.
yeah. From what I heard, I'm not true crime, won't venture into it, but
I
I'll tell
was.
you, yeah, AD was. And I'll
I
tell
was,
you,
yeah, I used to be true
a
crime.
troll community even will eat you up. If you don't have the receipts, you better put
Yeah.
out what you have. And if you say something, your word has to matter. So if you're going to go
Right.
down this rabbit hole, do never play off the cuff ever.
I hear
Because
you.
you'll
I
build
hear
your
you.
credibility big time. Like, if you always come with receipts. Lori's right about that.
I hear
And
you.
dude, like, I had more
Yeah.
power to you. If you're gonna get into busting stolen valor, like I said, and putting the word out, I wish you all the fucking best, bro. Like,
Thank you.
that's not really what we do.
Yeah.
That's like true crime stuff, kind of, right, Lori?
Yeah, that's definitely because we're not. Yeah.
Yeah, but um,
We'll help veterans out if they need help.
I'm gonna watch dudes live at 6. I might stream snipe him just to see
Please
what he
do.
says.
Please
But
do.
But well, I just want to see. I'm just curious, like what he's about, because I'm a curious by nature type of person. I like to ask a lot of questions.
That's good.
And yeah, that
No,
motherfucker
you
got
can
my
shit
attention.
talk, Guadalupe. You can shit talk. There, that's not what we're saying. But if you're going to go after and you want to be a part of something and you want to put facts out on a case, you can't go off the cuff and shit talk. You got to, you know.
Well, I mean, that's where like, I like to think that I'm gonna be the beginning, like, like it's gonna be a team effort when it comes to the stolen valor stuff, where I can I have this ability, and I don't know why I have this ability to be able to get people to come and talk to me. And so I want to draw people in that are going to talk to me, just like Michael did. He came in and talked to me and gave up all this information, right? And that's basically, I want to be the recon man, if for lack of a better term, right? I want to be the person who susses it out a little bit and then gives it to the people who are going to completely, like, target him and do the investigations and all that stuff. You know what I mean? I don't want to be the end point. I just want to, like, help. And so if it means that I'm gonna take some fire here and there, I'm willing to take it. I don't have anything to hide. All my shit is out there. I'm not scared of people. Like I said, I've been shot at. I've been put in situations where my life is in danger and stuff like that. So people on the internet don't really scare me. And then, like, my background is about as clean as it could possibly be for somebody that, gets on the internet. Therefore, I'm not scared of anything. And, as far as, like, kids and things like that, I don't have any of that. So I'm basically, like, I don't have much for people to try to take from me, so I'm good, like, I'm good to get at people, to get in front of people and stuff like that. And that's why I'm willing to go that far, because, in the long run, I believe that our vets sacrificed a lot for us. And if it means that I have to sacrifice some trolls, some people coming at me crazy or whatever, I'll do it. I'll do it if it means that I'm going to catch stolen valor people. I will do it. I'm sorry, did I lose you guys, or are you guys just muted?
Just muted. I'm listening. Like I said, because I'm not true crime. I did come in because I saw Ruski and I knew what he was talking shit to you, so I came in. But AD did ask if I knew who the picture was, because at first, from a distance, it looked like he was one of our Marines friends that we know. And then we realized it wasn't, and that's why I came in to ask you if you were a vet. And then his story of him being murdered, to me, any veteran that we lose or our military, to me,
I appreciate you guys, though. I really do. I appreciate the stream snipe. I even appreciate Ruski for bringing this attention, because to me, it's important to bring this attention. Like, it's important for people to know about this stuff. And if it means that, like, again, with the Ruski stuff, whatever, like, if he unsubs, whatever, it doesn't make a difference to me. I gave him the opportunity to speak his piece, to tell me what was going on. He didn't want to speak it. Fine. Like I told him, that might come back and bite you in the butt if you don't tell me anything. But you guys came here. You guys spoke your piece, and I think you guys are credible. I love to do more lives. I like doing a lot of lives with people. I like getting conversations going. AD, if you're willing to do one with me, I'm willing to talk about stuff that you've talked about before, or go on your live. I have no issues with that.
Cool, man.
You guys are.
I mean, we're, how do I say, it's been cool, man. Like, I wish all the best and pray for justice with this case. The stolen valor thing, I think, is a good gig. I heard what you said earlier about your past and serving your time and being, like, I support any ex-convicts. That might not be the right term. I don't know. No offense, but I do. But I do, like, anybody, once you serve your time and to society, like, and you get out and you start doing positive shit, I think that's fucking awesome, bro.
Well,
I think that's fucking awesome. And it sounds like you were from a rough neighborhood too, so
I did. I came up from a broken home. I grew up in a rough neighborhood. I had a lot of anger when I was a kid, and
Mm-hmm.
I had to learn how to deal with that anger. But one of the things that I didn't do early on was learn how to talk about it, and get into like, so when the thing that I did got me in trouble, it was really done out of pure anger, and I really didn't get nothing out of it because all I did was, and I'll just give you a quick synopsis of what I did. All I did was let some trucks go when I was a security guard. I let them go because I was like pissed at my employer, and it ended up costing me a lot because it cost them a lot. Of course, when you make people lose a lot of money, they're gonna come after you, and so
Yeah.
that's what happened. And I had to deal with the consequences. And for like a period of time, I believe that it wasn't my fault. I believe that it was the world against me, and being in jail and actually talking to real criminals and realizing that this attitude about me being the victim over the people that I victimized made me realize that, you know what, I don't want to be them. I want to be a productive member of society. And so after a year of being there and being in jail and dealing with that, when I got out, my first thoughts were, I got to change things. I got to change things in my life. I got to change the way my outlook. And first thing I did was check into my own therapy, check into my own stuff, making myself better. I had 5 years of probation, which a lot of people thought was a death sentence. They were like, "Oh, you're just gonna go back. 5 years is way too much. You could never
That
do that."
is a long time to not,
Yeah.
I
But
mean, it's almost like they want to keep people in the system, I want to say. Like, you should be good anyway for 5 years, but
yeah,
seems like some of them infractions, like motherfucker smokes weed once. He's
yeah,
drunk at a party, fucking joint comes his way, he hits that motherfucker, now he's gone again for.
Now, see, I'm different than both of you guys because I think that if you're on probation, whether it's a 5-year or a 10-year probation, you're not in jail. And I think that's a blessing that you got lucky and do better. And it gives you
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
chance to change your life. So I feel a little different. But I can tell you, AD's pretty
You're
well
hardcore,
rounded.
man. You're
I
hardcore. You want to
just
see jail? You ever been to jail, Lori?
no, I
It's
haven't.
horrible.
Well,
It's
I have
horrible.
when
Because
I
a
had the
dude smoked a
process.
little
So,
fucking pot at a party.
okay,
He
I
don't need to
agree.
go get
Pot
locked
shouldn't
up for
believe
another
that's true.
year.
I will give you that. I
They
do
do
think
that though,
the
Lori. They're,
laws.
you
I
popped
know.
hot on someone. Now I understand, pure Colombian cocaine. Like, yeah, go.
Or
Or like,
meth
oh,
or
dude,
something
smoking
like
meth
that. Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Congratulations on all
I
your
think a little
success. Have
bit.
fun.
I think a little
But
bit is okay, but I do
they
feel
do.
that probation is the way to go because the work's getting out of hand with our young, and I
Oh,
think
Captain Kurt, shit.
I think our
You
young
did fucking
gets
prison time,
bad.
bro. Like, you're saying, oh, lock him up, and he's such.
I don't believe in locking up
He's so
weed unless
hardcore,
you're
dude.
selling. If
Like,
you're a seller, I think you belong in jail. I think if you're selling
Ooh,
the
you're not
crap
good. Okay, well,
to
if
kids.
just to add to all of this, okay, when I got out because I was having trouble finding a job based on my felony, um, I actually started my own weed business. Now, you want to talk about it being hard to be a weed business guy when you can't smoke weed? I
hey,
did that,
man,
and I
at
and I
least you
made
don't smoke none of your profit,
Yeah,
right?
I'm too
Like,
vanilla for that to even address that because I've never done it. I personally, I don't like it. I personally think that making it legal is a gateway to opening the door for other
other
drugs.
drugs.
And to
we can
me,
have a discussion about that. That's fine with
yeah,
me.
I mean,
Hey,
so
but no,
yeah,
not to interrupt, but I don't want to make this about like our stuff when you're
yeah,
doing a live about a fallen soldier.
yeah.
Right, and that it kind of went sideways on me anyway with the
So
whiskey
I
stuff. So
apologize to you, and I
don't
apologize
even
to
too.
Chad
worry.
if
No,
I
I
did
do
that.
too.
I no, I want you guys to know something that I'm very
Mhm.
happy that, and I see all the people that came over. This is probably your people that came over, so I thank you for that, because the more eyes on the story of Donald Atwater Cameron Jr., the better for me, and the better for his family, the better for what's going on with that. And so I'm okay with it, and I'm more, like I said, please sub to the channels that have done the work. You can sub to my channel. My channel is it's right now. I'm getting into a lot of different things. I don't have. I like to have more fun than this actually has been. But at the same time, is that
It's
like
a
I
heavy
want.
subject, bro.
Yeah,
It's a
exactly.
man died. There's a fucking guy going live. You think he may have something to do with it, and so you're covering it.
Right.
And it got my attention.
I'm glad it did. I'm
Yeah.
glad it did.
It got Lori's attention because when we hear like stolen valor and possibly someone lost their life, that's what grabbed my attention. And I was like, all right, so I just wanted to, I'm curious by nature, so I just wanted to learn more about the situation and who
I
the
know, and I
individual
appreciate it,
is.
but
And
Well,
I
you're
mean,
versatile too. Yeah, I'm going to give you the props for that. Jerry? He talks. He's well rounded. He will bring up anybody and discuss anything from religion to true crime. I mean, he has an open panel, and he just everything goes for him.
that would be what how I am as well. I don't shy away from any subject, any topic. There are some things that I'm more passionate about, and I'm willing to discuss them a lot more. But yeah, I'm the same way. I can talk about nearly anything, and I'm not afraid to talk about it either. Unlike other people who want to like dance around certain subjects and things like that, I don't do that. I don't dance. And this is one of the main reasons why I kind of revamped my channel because I don't want to be stuck in a niche. I don't want to be put in a corner. I want people to be able to say, Jerry's willing to talk about anything. Like you can come to my channel and just open up about anything. I'm very open about my background and the things that I've been through, and so I'm willing to open up about it now. Like I said, the stolen valor stuff is a passion of mine because, like I said, I found a kindred spirit with the people who are in the military and stuff like that, and I really do want to suss things out and help them find people. Like I said, Stone Vet has got all my respect. I always say that consistency is a thing for me. If you're consistent, if you always show who you are across the board, I'm gonna have 100% more respect for you than people who are always like, changing and shifting and being something different. You know what I mean? If you're consistent, if you are who you are and you show me who you are, I will respect you all the way through, even if we disagree at some levels. Because one thing that I hate about today's world is that people are getting written off for like the weirdest things, the dumbest things. And I don't want to do that to people. I want people to be able to tell their opinions. Like we should be able to agree to disagree without having moments where people can't even you can't stay away from that character. You know what I mean? There's a difference between staying away from somebody who is dangerous and staying away from somebody who just has a difference of opinion. And that's also another thing that I want to suss out.
Well, your best thing to do is make your title. Like if you want open discussion on anything, or you want to talk true
Right.
crime, or you want to make it in your title, and then and if people come up and try to go off it, make sure you just, turn it back on it and
Right.
highlight what you want to talk about as the host.
Yes, and I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys understanding where I was, everything that I've been doing, because you guys have brought it back, and you guys have been very respectful of the things that we've been talking about and stuff like that. Now it is kind of gone off a little bit off the cuff with the stuff that I originally started off with. So I'm probably going to change the title, and I do that a lot in post. I will change the title or change the subject line so that when people come in here, they don't expect exactly what the title means. And one thing about all my lives are improvised up to this point. I haven't scripted anything. I never come in 100% prepared. I'm always just boom, just like let's get it started. Like I have something in mind, let's go. You know what I mean? That's been my way.
Me and AD do owe you an apology, because yes, we brought a lot of people that support us in here with you, but we also happen to bring our locale, our bottom feeder, who's unwanted everywhere, and he's
a few of them. Even
harassment.
Johnny was up in here.
Oh, okay, but our biggest one is the one that's been threatening you already, that snaggy loser Harpua. So that's one, and I'm telling you, I mean, so I'm going to apologize on behalf of us that he is here, because he seems to stalk everybody.
Johnny Goble's watching. What you doing, Pumpkinhead? There's a few of them, man.
It's okay. It's okay with me.
And dude, I mean, it is what
I
it is.
I don't mind trolls. They don't bother me.
He's more of a bottom feeder versus a troll, because even when he's caught lying, he'll still double down on that lie. And
then he should meet Michael Kaiser then. Yeah.
Oh, he's already said he's looking forward to meeting him. So he'll.
I mean, this guy's a Marine that said he killed pirates, and he said he burned dead bodies, and
War crimes.
I mean, he's totally
Unstable.
stolen valor 100%. Like,
I say to all those people who
it's
are
unfortunate, you know, that people do that. And the
right.
thing is, he served.
No,
He
and
served.
you know what? And you know what? To all these guys who want to talk crap to me, I want you to meet me at Stone Vet's live. The next time he goes live, I want you to find Stone Vet's channel, sub to it, and then go to his live and meet me there. And I
Right.
promise you'll get an education.
Well, I
Yeah,
do.
what does
We
Stone
do
Vet do?
apologize, letting
Don't
bringing
even worry.
him with
Don't
us.
even
So.
worry. To me, it's funny.
Your
I
chat
can
seems to be having fun going at him. They've kind of figured him out pretty quick. Some
Oh
other
yeah,
people.
no, I like I said, I've said it before. I got two mods here. I got Danny and I got Guadalupe Guacamole. Now, Danny,
Yeah.
she's my Siri, she's my Alexa. She will drop anything informative for me right there in the chat for me when I need it.
Dang, there she goes right there. It's Stone Vet.
But Guadalupe Guacamole, she is the bodyguard. She will go at you. Do not play with her. She will come at you. She will find you on your channel. You go live and you want to talk crap, she will find you. And she will.
Well, he's
she will-
easy to neuter. I'm gonna tell you, he's been neutered by several of us in our community. He is a junkless loser, and so it seems like your mods have already figured him out and are having fun going
Yes.
at him. So props to your mods, you guys, Guadalupe and Danny. You know what? My hat's off to you. It didn't take you long to figure out when shit smells, it smells, and you know right where to go and go up to that.
Yeah, I don't do this. I don't do this off the cuff for nothing. I got my peoples and they got my back and I got theirs. So it's like it's one of those things where it's like, I've developed a good rapport with these two, and I wouldn't trade them for the world. They're great. I mean, like I said, Danny will drop any pertinent information I need at the moment. If I need to be corrected, she'll drop it for me. And Guadalupe, she's just a firecracker. She's spicy guacamole. She will get you. She will get you.
Yeah, man. But hey, man, I'm gonna cut out. I appreciate you having me up on your panel.
Thank you. I hope that we could do something on your channel soon too, man. I'm very
hey, man, I always do open panels. I'll just
He
toss
does.
the link down
Every day you'll find.
there. So
AD
you're always
live.
welcome up, and we just chop it up.
You want to drop your link on the private chat? I'll put it out. I know a lot of your people are here, but just in case somebody on my side wants to link up to you. Is it too much?
I'm fucking stupid. Hold on. How do I?
Hey, T-Dam, my beautiful hubby.
I gotta go to my channel. Hold up.
Yeah, just go to your channel and then just copy the.
Okay.
Yeah, and you, Laura, you said your husband is Triple T. Is that his channel name?
Yeah. He does. He has Dog Pound Reaction. He's an official reactor for Outlaw Nation and for MTP, which is another group music. And yeah. So, and mine's just talk shows and panels, so it's just for fun. So I don't do the true crime, so your people probably wouldn't even be interested. But AD's is a pretty good channel.
Cool. I'll visit both of y'all's. I can be fun.
Oh, T's channel is legit.
Tim
he does
is,
a ton of freaking. Your channel's cool too, Lori. I wish you'd do more cooking stuff too. I love your cooking.
Only once I drop a video.
I like cooking.
She does, man. She does. She just it's cool, man. And you do lives and stuff every once in a while, but yeah, you've been sick, right? So
yeah, I've been down for 2 weeks, but usually I do panels 3 or 4 nights a week. But yeah, Tim doesn't do true crime though, so unfortunately, I know that if there was a veterans panel and any vets wanted to come up and talk, he'd do that or music, but he just stays away from true crime. So I know he'd send prayers to the fallen Cameron for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
But Tim, unfortunately, he does not dabble in true crime at all. That's the one thing Snaggy has right, that Tim just does. It's not that he don't want no smoke, because he ain't afraid of no smoke.
Yeah.
He bitched you out, Snaggy.
He's like music and kicking it and fucking
veterans
veterans
go
panel.
after a troll that comes after him only. If you don't go after him, he's pretty chill and he likes to help the community. But other than that, he's just not into the true crime community at all.
I get it. Yeah, and again, I'm open to anything. I mean, like I have my passions that I'm gonna like focus my channel on, but I'm a pretty chill dude too. I like to talk about a lot of things. I always like to say that one of the things that I miss a lot, because I've since, you know, lost my weed business. One of the things that I miss from having that shop is the noise, the conversations that I used to have. I used to have conversations with everybody that would come into my shop, and of course, people are high, so they're gonna talk their asses off. But I used to have conversations about a lot of things, about shows, and it made me kind of like, you know, explore a lot of things. Now, I always had an interest in people, because I used to, when my first thing when I got out of high school was to study anthropology. I like the study of people, so I'm very interested in people, regardless, you know. So it's one of my things. It's just one of my things. So I love it. I love to conversate about anything. I like talking about food. I
Well,
have
you're
a lot of
welcome anytime
my
on
family.
mine or my husband's channels. You're more than welcome. Any of your people.
Thank you.
So we don't. I'll tell you, we're pretty vanilla. We you know, we don't drink, we don't get high or anything like that. But we're good people, and you know, so you guys
Don't
are
worry,
more
I'll
than
Speak
be
for
ready.
yourself, Lori.
I know you do, AD.
No,
I'm
I
just
know
saying
on
for
your
us.
channel you don't. No,
Yeah.
but
I'll be the
it ain't even
jalapeno to
about
your
that.
vanilla.
Yeah. So you guys are all welcome. I mean, so don't think just because we're not true crime, you're not welcome. I think you guys would have a good
Right.
time on our channels. But I do know AD does have a lot of connections and was in that genre for a while, and still dips his toes, I think, a little bit.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
reach. I mean, I might reach out. I haven't 100%. I'm thinking about it. The
Okay.
I
problem
mean,
is with true crime, it's tragedy pimping 101, right?
Yeah, it's
So
a rabbit hole,
what's
man.
gonna
I've heard.
sell is the biggest story at the time.
right. Yeah, and I get
Not
that. I
not
get
and
that.
unfortunately, how do you value one death and
Over a bunch.
possible murder over another one?
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's what's real hard. And having been in true crime, what I can
I get
tell
it.
you is it's like there might be a case that is even more possibly horrific or whatever, and just because of the the color of the person, nobody gives a crap.
Right.
But if
Absolutely.
it's a young white girl that was popular in high school and got straight A's, she's gonna and it's weird, dude. And
I get
so
it. I get it.
like it's hard to like say, okay, I don't want to cover this case because of this case. And then
Right.
you try and keep it 100, but sometimes it goes off the rails. And
Right.
it's heavy stuff, so it can be depressing over a long period of time. If you're and
Absolutely.
you sound like a good person that actually cares, so that's was my kind of experience. And then,
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know, man. And then when you start getting into some of the other things,
It
it
gets.
gets
It gets.
wild.
It gets.
And I'm sure your friend that was up here already knows everything I'm saying because I think she's
Yep.
true crime.
A lot
Yeah.
of
And,
hate
and,
too,
and dude,
right,
it gets to
AD?
be wild. Like that community is
Yeah. Absolutely. No.
cutthroat, bro.
I've had my run-ins, and like I said, I've said it's not my first rodeo. When Ruski was trying to tell me, oh, some people are gonna come in here and they're bad or whatever, I'm like, dude, it's not my first rodeo. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can deal.
You're a grown man. You can judge for yourself, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean,
exactly. You know, so
and
it's
then
like, dude, don't worry about it. You're not protecting me from nothing. I'll have a conversation with people. If they're bad, then I'll say you're bad. You know, but obviously, you guys have come in here, and I believe both of you are good faith people. You came in here to tell me about Ruski, but at the same time, you had your questions, and you let me answer them, and
curious, yeah.
we're in understanding, and I like that.
Well, Jerry, as you saw, I brought a receipt. I when I'm going to say
Jesus.
something about somebody, I want to make sure I have a receipt so that you got to hear.
Facts.
There was more, but I didn't think you needed to hear more than what he had initially
Oh,
said. Is
Yeah.
I'll pimp it out to you. I'll give you this, but you got to give me something back. That's how
right.
he plays. So,
Right.
but
And this is my thing with that kind of mentality. It's like, listen, there's a behavior that people have when they're not good people, right? And I give you the opportunity to show me that you're not that. I've dealt with many people. I've been in jail with criminals, so I know how they act. Now, when I ask you, hey,
You're
bud,
street smart, right? That's what
yeah,
that's called.
when I ask you, hey bud, go ahead and tell me what's going on, and you want to say, no, I don't want to talk about that. Guess what? A lot of criminals act the same way, so it makes me suspicious of you. Doesn't mean that every person is like that, right? It just means that you're making me suspicious of you, and now people are coming. A big community is coming over here to tell me. Guess what? Guess what? Now, I can't. You even if you have a story to tell. I can't believe it because when you had your opportunity, you decided not to share. And unfortunately, I go with people who have the receipts, who want to share, and that's you guys. You guys have the receipts and you have to share. I'm sorry, Ruski. I gave you the chance.
We're a pretty big
And I ain't gonna tell you
community.
what to think about
Oh,
Ruski.
no. And I'll
You'll
tell
come
you,
up with your own conclusions.
No, I mean
so,
it's
yeah.
I didn't want to make it about him because there's a fallen soldier, man. And
Right,
this is
and-
the anniversary of the day he passed away. His name was what? Cameron?
Donald Atwater Cameron Jr.
Cameron
Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. Well, rest in peace, brother. I pray for justice, for a fallen comrade, and yeah,
For his
expose
family, I
him.
hope they have peace.
Yeah, Lori, think about that.
Yep.
You know, like, dude served his country and then come back to get fucking murdered here.
But we also got to think, when you guys in the true crime are doing this, how does it affect the family? Do they want all this attention brought
Right.
onto them?
That's
So, I
it
mean,
becomes a huge moral Lori's
Yeah.
right. And
You have
I
to
had
walk
to
that
I
line,
had
I
to
think.
I had to tussle with that. But I think that the truth needs to be told, but it's like there's like a fine line in it. 'Cause I mean, does that story not deserve to be told, Lori?
no, it deserves to be
you
told, but I
know-
think there comes a point where if you've got too many people and they're just using it for views, then it starts to become distasteful and it'll turn
Right.
people off. So you've got to find, I believe there's got to be a fine line. There's going
True
to be
crime is
people
huge.
and you got
Yeah,
people who will
absolutely.
use it.
You can
for
blow your
just-
channel up doing true crime.
Yeah.
Right, and
I mean,
this-
you can cover frickin' you can go live every time there's a police chase. Start
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
Right.
Get thousands in your chat.
You can I'm just giving you like some ideas. Like there's so much you can do with true crime, but I think you got to keep it like there's a dude, have you heard of White Boy Lockdown Radio? He
no.
does true crime.
Okay.
And he's an ex convict as well, but he came out and he's got a pretty big channel. And I mean, he packs the house in there sometimes. He'll get 1,000, 2,000 people up in there. Sometimes he's only got 100. I mean, it just depends, but he's got a pretty big true crime, and he just talks about all the cases. He talks about, because he knows a lot about that, having come from that life.
Right.
Like, I don't know that. Like, I'm a square. I don't know about all the laws and what these people might be doing. But with that type of perspective, it's an interesting one because he's like street smart, like you probably are, right? So he has that when he brings into true crime, and he just eats up other true crimers. And I'm not saying you're true crime. You're just like, I don't know, like figuring it out. Or
I want me to be a source of information. That's what I want. And if
Cool.
it means I can dabble in certain like subjects, then that's
whatever
great.
interests you, right? Like,
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
I want to be open. Also, I do like to I really do like to bring the funny when I can. Like I like to be lighthearted with things because, like I said, I think I also believe that YouTube is an escape. I also believe that like these platforms should be about coming and having your relief from reality. But at the same time, it's like we have to be responsible with that reality as well. Because when you find locals, when you find people who are horrible and stuff like that, and they're in your community, you should call them out responsibly. And so this is something that came across because I dealt with this guy. So I feel I'm responsible for bringing out the story of Michael Kiser. Now, we found out about Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. because of this idiot. But because of that, respectfully, I will put out his story too as well. Because he's tied to it, no matter what. There's no other suspect in that case. No other suspect, and all the pertinent information leads back to him. So
it's very interesting. Like it's very interesting to speculate. And I'll say on one of the big cases, the Kylie Rodney case, like I was speculating, and I spent so much time on that case. And dude, you're gonna get views, you're gonna get subs, but it's like I was wrong in the end of my assumption. And I had to admit it. So I think if I were to do it again, I would just cover the facts of the case and be like, this is, instead of just like automatically, but that's hard to do when you're so sure in your head of something.
Yeah, stay away from speculations because that's where
that's
you're
what I'm
gonna
saying.
get your
Like,
most hate. Yes, I agree.
even
with
in
you,
this
AJ.
case, Jerry, like what you're talking about is, but you can't help it because you're human, Lori. Like, how do you, if all arrows are pointing in one direction, how do you tell your brain not to to assume that and then convey that to your guests, it's hard, man.
It's hard. Yeah, it's really
That's
difficult.
hard to stay. Like, that's what the news kind of does.
Mhm.
Like, if you're trying to be a news station and cover it that way, I think you just give the facts of the case as they come out. And there's
Right.
channels that do that and they blow up as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and respectfully, if anybody from the family of Dino Whitewater Carmen Jr. told me, "Hey, keep his name out your mouth and don't
Right.
ever say it again," I would shut the hell up and I would say, "I'm sorry, I apologize," and I'd make it a whole thing. I'm not here to disrespect the name of Donald Whitewater
Right.
Cameron in any kind of way.
No,
I,
you're not coming off like that, bro.
No, you're
like,
not. But there'll
I-
be some. I think that one person you had up on the channel, she was trying to undermine and not understand, and I think she was kind of putting some digs at what was her name? Sniz?
Shiz.
Shiz. I'm sorry. I'm new and I apologize to Shiz.
No, you're fine.
But I think that other one was trying to throw a little shade her way, and
Yeah, it's possible there was a little cattiness.
It's gonna happen.
It's
Lord,
probably there
who's
was a little
stirring the
cattiness
fucking
there.
pot up here?
There
That's
probably
fine.
was a little bit of cattiness there, and Shannon, Shannon is her name, which is the other channel.
AD, you know I'm blunt. I gotta call it how I see it. It's just I'm just that way. I
Well,
just
obviously, dude, that's fucking.
Yeah.
Everybody has a right to their opinion, though,
Yes,
and
they
like
do.
nobody got upset, and it's cool.
Nah.
People kept it moving, you know.
I just didn't
Yeah,
like
no,
her
I know.
assuming about me and you, AD. I mean, it was an assumption, and it just, so I was like, I let her speak, and I'm this isn't my panel. I'm a guest, so I was respectful.
facts.
It's just I have to
Oh,
be
yeah.
honest that throwing a little shade. When you don't know us, I mean, yes, we did bring up Ruski. It's true because he was here and he was trying to put our names in his mouth.
Well, I saw a dude. Yeah, I saw a dude on his panel.
Yeah.
But again, I think the primary focus of the live, a soldier passed away.
Well,
There's
he
a
was
possible
murdered, yeah.
murderer going live at fucking 6 p.m. And to me, that shit's fucking crazy.
Has he been bragging about it? I mean, like not like killing, but I mean, has he been like joyful that the soldier is gone? Has he acted like that? Like a piece
He hasn't said anything like pertinent to the actual case. He's mentioned it like, oh, I got charged for murder, but the charges were dismissed, making it seem like he was acquitted when he wasn't. And the thing that's really egregious, there's a live where he says, because he's celebrating his 5,000 subscriber, right? And he's like, if I can take a time machine and go back in time, I would not change a thing in my life. And it's like, are you serious, bro? Like,
wow.
you have 5 felony charges for burglarizing people. You burglarized an old lady. Like, you wouldn't change at least that?
That's why I don't understand how he still has his benefits, man.
AD, I swear that if he would let people on a panel and we put a few of our vets up on that panel, they would tear his ass from.
You don't want that.
But
smoke.
I'm not going to bring Tim up there. I don't even want Tim because I know it'll take Tim down a rabbit hole. I don't want him getting on him.
It is a rabbit hole. It is a rabbit hole.
He'll take a chunk and he won't let go. And I can't do that, Tim, when he's moving past all the haters anyways. But
yeah, and I would say if your husband wants to come up here and talk about it,
I think it's funny, dude. If T wants to bite off on something, like, I don't know that you could stop him.
That's why I'm not going to introduce this to him. AD, I'm sorry.
I don't know if he catches wind of any of this. I don't know that you'll be able to stop
I'm
him.
surprised he hasn't, because usually he has a pretty good sense on when I'm live and finds me. So I'm surprised.
Thank you, guys. Well, I appreciate both of you.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut
here.
out. I appreciate it, man.
No, and you like I said, you guys are always welcome. And please, if I could do something on your channel, let me know. We should get together. Do you guys have a Discord or do you guys do you guys email or whatever?
I'm on IG under
Yeah,
Lori's
I'm on
World,
IG
like my
as well.
channel, if you need me.
Oh, cool. I'll start an IG.
Yeah, bro. Everybody's on IG.
Yeah, that's the place to mingle and get your information out.
Then
do
you don't got to
short
give your
videos.
personal number out to everybody because
Yeah,
you'll be
don't do
changing
that.
your number like crazy.
Dang, I just wanted to give everybody my number. I love it when my phone blows up.
Yeah,
doesn't go
well,
away,
give it to
Guadalupe.
someone that gets spiteful at you, and then they freaking
Then you get like 100 text messages
dude,
like,
they
Yeah.
can
And you got
go
to be
south.
careful too, because they'll blow up your IG. So,
Yeah.
be very selective who you give your IG out to, because you could
Facts.
be getting thousands of IGs from one person that
Oh
turns
my
into a
goodness.
stalker. And
Yeah.
yeah, but
IG's where it's at. I didn't even realize either. Like, I just got it like 2-3 months ago, I want to say. It's where it's
yeah,
at, man.
Discords are bad. I
Yeah,
won't
Discord
touch a Discord.
sucks.
Yeah, it
They
gets you into
fucking
trouble,
always
and
go south.
yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
Too
So
much. I'm just saying, man. You start a Discord, you're fucking heading down a rough.
Hey, I made this comment a while back ago on somebody else's stream. It's like when you start a Discord, it comes with a knife to stab people in the back with.
yeah. My
Ain't
husband
lying.
leads to a lot of dark web stuff too, because you don't know who's coming in there, and
Right.
it can take you down. And there's people in there grabbing.
Oh, they can be hacked.
Yeah. So he
Cell
just
phones have more security.
yeah
Like,
he refused. He's never had one, and he'll never do it. And I did. I got into one with friends, I thought, and no, I was in there for about a month.
Danny
Nope,
said-
I'll never
Danny
go
says
back in there
Discord
again.
is evil. All right, y'all. I'm cutting out. I
Victoria, I
appreciate
don't
it.
care if he
I
does, because
appreciate
Tim
it.
won't listen.
Thank you for
Take it
Anyways,
easy, y'all. Take it easy.
JD's
I'm
the
out.
guy to help you if you need it, for sure. And thank you for letting us up here. And like I said, if we went off a little bit off of what your subject matter was, we both already apologized, but I will again. Because I saw Ruski, I thought that's what this was about. And then you did catch my attention with the fallen soldier, the vet,
Thank
and
you. And that was all that. That's what all that was
that
about.
just hurts my heart so bad. We lose too many vets as it is, under their own PTSD and suicide and homelessness and drugs and alcohol. To me, having somebody senselessly murdered like that over a PS3 and some guns just because he doesn't like the guy, it just to me, yeah, it's disgusting.
Thank you, and I appreciate you guys bringing attention to it. Whatever the attention is, I'm just glad that the attention is out there. And thank you for showing up. Hey, like I said, I hope that I can join you on your panels. And for anybody who wants to sub to my channel, know that this is an open forum right now. I'm willing to talk about anything. I'm open to a lot of things. I'm passionate about certain things, and I hope people will give me a chance.
If you're going to do an open panel, I'm going to give you some advice. You need to make yourself a banner.
Thank you.
Because there's people who will come up and their whole goal is to porn bomb you, to derail your show. Especially if you have a good show, you will have people like Snaggy who come in to derail it, because that's his whole point, is he's not accepted. So he will derail yours and try to hit your links and pop up on your channel. And to play safe, always have your banner. And if you don't, all you have to do is make your icon big. Just click your link and make yourself, and don't let people you don't know and who won't show their faces, and make them do stuff. Like if I was in the back and you were, because people are using your AI, your image, and are on. So make them do something like say, hey, hold up your middle finger, hold up your pinky. And then if they're willing to do that, then you know it's a real person. But you until you get to know them, put your banner up for your safety, because porn bombs, they are going wild. Yes, Guadalupe, they are all over. It's a challenge to get up on a panel and porn bomb and derail your live stream.
That's nuts, isn't it, Lupe? That people would do that, Lupe? Huh?
It's at some points it's the reactions that people do that are funny. It's not that the porn bomb, but watching people's faces, you get that overreaction, that dramatic and it's funny, but it's not funny, because you know how that would feel if it was your channel. So you just gotta take precautions and try to bring up people that you know or you're getting to know. So open panels are kind of hard when you're starting out and you don't know a lot of people. So I would just caution you to be very careful and make sure they show you their face and do certain movements for you behind the scenes.
Well, as the tiny channel that I am, I appreciate all the advice that I can get, and I thank you so much for that. Thank you once again for showing up. I can't wait to see you on your panel, and I can't wait to see AD on his panel. You guys have been great. You guys.
Well, I appreciate you, and you have a blessed night, and everybody in the crew. It was nice. Thank you for allowing us to come in and join your chat too.
Have a good one.
So, all right. Good night, guys.
Good night. Guys, well, that was it. It got derailed a little bit. Of course, what do I do all the time? I'm going to switch up the title. I'm going to switch things up a little bit. But I'm glad the information got out there, and I'm glad that there's people who are going to put attention to it. New eyes. This has been my mission, right? New eyes to the story. So now we got new eyes. We got fresh eyes. We got people who are going to see this subjectively, and they're going to be able to suss it out subjectively. So thank you very much. And Ruski, I'm sorry, but I gave you the opportunity to speak out and say what you needed to say when I had you on to say it, but you didn't. And unfortunately, there's not much I can do there. I wish you the best, man. I'm pretty sure you're on sub by now. That's fine with me. That's all I can say about that. What else? What else can I do? I do appreciate you having me on your live over there. It got this attention. So cool. I'll leave you guys with the song that I put up earlier. It is how I feel about the situation with Wrangler, how I feel with the situation with Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. There will be justice for Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. I promise you that there should be and there will be justice for Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. Rest in peace, sir. You're a veteran that people should know about. Your story should be known, and I hope it's known. I hope people will get to know it better. And Wrangler, dude, I told you, man. It's this is not you're not gonna keep running from this, man. You can't hide everybody. When we get more eyes, when there's gonna be more people coming after you, you can't block them all. You will feel this. There will be pressure on you, and it's not for you to leave. It's not for you to leave. I want you to sit in your crapulence. I want you to sit in that shame. Because when the justice comes for you, it's gonna make me laugh. When I see all the people who supported you have nothing to go to, because then it's going to be too late. Rest in peace, Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. I hope your memory lives on, my friend. Why don't I ever have this stuff ready?